racing. Yes, we are racing. Oh, look at the Camaro. Johnny Mac put it up the inside.
Vamos!
There's the checkered flag. Give him a hand. Well done, Marco. This is about to get exciting. We're going to want a true New Zealand motorsport legend, Greg Murphy. A well-deserved victory for Heart of Racing.
Welcome back to the Carter's Tyre Service South Island Endurance Series here in beautiful Timaru at Levels Raceway. I'm here with Brendan Leach, who's just getting ready. Obviously he's not starting the race because he's not wearing his pyjamas, and we've got Christina or West in the car. I mean, talk us through your day so far.
Yeah, look, it's been really good this morning. We had a bit of an issue with some traffic and qualifying, just the way the nature of the circuit being quite tight. But the car's performing really well, and a couple of little gremlins yesterday, which the team got on top of really quickly. And Christina's done a fantastic job this morning and feeling nice and confident. So what we need heading into the start of the race.
So for those who've just tuned in to us, where on the grid are you starting?
We're starting in 5th place, so we're actually at the back of the GT3 class, but we're definitely not down and out. We're right there, and in terms of lap time, right with them. And I think Christina's going to be the quickest car on track for this first part of the race.
So have you had a look up and down pit lane to see who's starting in each car?
Yeah, it looks like in most of the other cars they've got the gentleman drivers in their cars. Thankfully, I don't have a gentleman driver. I've got a lovely lady in there, and she steers the thing really well. So, she's rapid compared to the other cars out there. So I'm really hoping that we can clear them and disappear off into the distance, and then I'll have to do my best to block like crazy, I guess, or something like that.
So how are you feeling? I mean, obviously second in the in this championship for the South Island endurance title. You get a little bit nervous, or?
Oh, a little bit, not so much. I think I'm just going to go out there and probably just do the best I can. At the end of the day, I know I'm not in the fastest car there, but I'm definitely not using that as an excuse to say that we can't win the thing. I think as an overall package, we've got ourselves a pretty good team altogether, and I think we're in with a really good chance of having a fantastic battle at the end if we can find ourselves in the lead at the halfway point.
And so for you guys, it's on to the national championship in a couple of weeks, or what's next?
Yeah, that's the plan. So I think we have to finish in the top 15 first, which should be all right. But so the plan is to head off to Highlands in about 3 weeks' time for the New Zealand Endurance Championship, which will be fantastic. There's going to be a lot of amazing cars turn up there, and what a fantastic facility to be doing it at as well.
Great. Well, hopefully we'll be able to have a chat to you. We might see you at the end of the race, I guess, and have a chat to Christina as we go through. And what we'll do now is we'll just have a wander down the lane and see who we can see and chat to, a la what we like to see in endurance racing. So we'll have a chat to these guys here. And how you feeling, boys?
Great. Yeah, we're all set to go. Rob's in the car. He's done a really good job in qualifying. So, yeah, he's looking forward to his run out there.
And so last night you're telling me you were going to try and go quicker in the morning. You go right?
Yeah, I did go quicker. It's good because one of us go good. It's sort of the first one you want to beat is your teammate, and it's given Rob a lot of confidence because he's fairly new at it. So all in all, couldn't be happier.
So obviously you guys are running a 997 Cup car. It's a very fast car, but the GT3 car is a little bit quicker. How do you run a day to sort of get the best out of your package?
The car's very consistent, and throughout the whole run, it does get better as the run goes on, and it's pretty easy on its tyres, and it's for a 997. It's always been really good in a straight line, and on a good day we can match some of the 911s, and the lap time's showing this weekend that we're ahead of most of them, so that's great.
And so you guys, where are you running in Class D? Because obviously that's just one class down from E, which is the GT3 class.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've been doing both North and South Island series. So we missed out on Teretonga, but a couple of weekends ago at Ruapuna, we finished 6th overall and second in class. So, we're really stoked, yeah.
So are you going back for the round? We're 1 week from here to Pukekohe for the North Island Endurance Series. Are you heading back up?
That's correct, yeah. So Rob he drives the truck and travels around with the car, and he's pretty sick of that ride on the ferry, I can tell you.
Well, I'll be joining him because I'm taking all the equipment back for us. So I'll be in that 2:15 ferry on Sunday and we'll have a beer.
Yeah, for sure. We're going to watch Bathurst and Christchurch tomorrow, and poor old Rob, he's got to slog his way back, and I'm going to fly back Monday morning. So
you're the superstar of the team.
no, I don't know about that, mate. No, not yesterday. It wasn't. This man was the superstar yesterday.
All right, well, have a good race, and hopefully we catch you through the middle point of it when you do a driver change, and get you on camera doing that changeover.
Thank you
Joyce,
very much.
all right, we'll keep wandering down the lane. Still a ways before the 1:15 start, so we will see who we can see as we go down the lane and have a yarn with them, see what's happening. It's great really with this type of racing because it's one of the only events like this that you'll see around the world where you can turn up with whatever you feel like, whether that be a GT3 very fast car. I see these guys over here who are actually in 5th position overall in the entire championship, and they're driving what is actually the slowest car here, which is the 106 Peugeot GTI, and a bit of mirror adjustment going on here. This is Leighton Tremaine, or he's actually known as Leighton because they like to make it French. So bit of a mirror feed. Talk us through the. He's told me to go away. The pre-match action's got to us. He's in a hurry, so they want to get on the grid. Pit lane is now open, so we'll try and have a chat with them later on. We're actually going to do an in-car talk with them, hopefully, with Victor Catamol back up in the tower there. So we might see if we can get a word here with Barry in the TCR. Afternoon.
Adam.
How are you doing?
Good, thanks. Good.
So we haven't talked about your class too much, but how are things going in your category?
Pretty much Track Tech Audi have got an unassailable lead. If they finish, they've won. We just want to win both races we finish, so we won at Teretonga, and hopefully we win here today.
So last round you had a little bit of an issue with the gearbox seal, yeah? So that's what really sort of messed things up for you, right?
Yeah, unfortunately a $20 oil seal fell out, and so did all the gearbox oil with it. So yeah, caused a bit of damage, but air freighted some parts in from France and got them on Wednesday, and we're here today. So yeah.
Well, good luck for the day, because obviously Invercargill went your way, Ruapuna didn't, and maybe the third one up will be for you.
You never know. Thanks, Adam. Cheers.
So qualifying wise, how are you guys sitting?
Second to the Paddon Mickles car, so Hayden put in a pretty exceptional lap, so yeah, we'll see how we go.
All right. Well, good luck for the day, and we'll see you later. Okay, the cars are all heading out onto the grid now. Looks like the harder racing car's just sitting there waiting with no wheels on it. We'll see if we can get an idea of what's happening there. I guess they're just sort of waiting for the last minute to go out. Can't see anyone that we can get Just you guys just waiting till the last minute to put tyres on and ready to go out?
Yeah, that's right.
So everything's tracking along quite nicely today?
Yeah, we'll see how we go. 3 hours is a long way.
Oh, it's you guys are leading the competition. I can see you needing to make a call, so I'll leave you to it. Obviously, Alex is over here, so we'll try and get a word with him. Seems Darren's in the car. Alex, come out. So you guys just waiting till the last minute to make a decision on tyres?
Not really. We just were driving on with the rain tires onto the pit lane, just to be able to keep the slick tires as warm as possible, and send Darren out to the pre-grid on the last moment so he can get some core temperature inside the tire for the start and the first braking, which is going to be for sure a tricky one. But everything seems to be okay. We couldn't find exactly the issue that we experienced in Q2, so we're a bit blind going into the race, but fingers crossed, and hopefully the car behaves well.
So yeah, in Q2 you guys did a lot of laps, so that you're right out there to the very end. Was it just a small minor issue, or you just lost a little bit of pace?
Well, we were trying to see if there was anything within the car that we could change map-wise, setting-wise, that would prevent the engine to malfunction, and we did achieve a setting which prevents it as much as possible. It's not entirely gone, it is still in the background, but I feel like with the way we are right now, we should be competitive and be able to fight for a podium today.
So obviously heading into this round, leading the series, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Because you want to go 100%, but do you just hold a little bit and try and be there for the end?
Yes, we are not really too obsessed or too concerned about the standings and all of that. We are just here to learn, right? It's a brand new program with a brand new car, all the team getting together in the last couple months, right? So if the result comes, that's great, but that's kind of like a bonus. What we are doing here goes beyond getting a result, and as far as I'm concerned, I think we are doing a great job, in my opinion, and the team is doing fantastic. So to me, that's the most important.
Yeah, I mean, look, you've come to New Zealand and it's all new experience, and you've had some great results, and you've battled through some things that haven't gone your way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We faced adversity a couple times, which, I mean, that's the normal thing, right? We get a new program started with such short time to understand how the car works, to understand the weakness of the cars, and it's unusual, actually. It would be weird if we did the entire season without any sort of issue, right? That would be uncommon. So to find these little challenges is actually something good. It creates that little spirit within the team of, okay, we have a problem, we're gonna fix it together, we're gonna put our heads working and getting our heads around the issues to fix them and prevent them in the future. And I think that has been an amazing experience.
So with your international racing, how does this compare? Like, you come to a small town in New Zealand and a quite compact track, and you race against some really fast cars and some really slow cars. Have you seen this before?
Well, the boxes are a bit different, that's for sure. But I honestly love it. I mean, it's a completely different energy. Everybody is just a genuine motorsport enthusiast, and everybody just loves the racing, which is what it should be, in my opinion. So I love the energy here. I love that there is all sorts of different cars around the track, and everybody seems to be having a great time. So there is this sense of community, which I personally I feel so attracted to.
Great, awesome. Well, the cars have gone out on track, so we should get back up to the commentary tower to Victor Catamol to call the start of the race.
Thanks, Adam and Alex and all the others down pit lane. Yes, we're back ready to go racing. 3-hour race, and the cars are making their way around to queue up on their grid positions. And then, as they did with the 1 hour, we'll do an induction lap and then a lap behind the safety car, or maybe 2 laps behind the safety car. And then we'll be racing. 3 hours. Hope you've got your little green bottles or your glass of Pinot Noir and some chips and dip ready for what's going to be an exciting 3 hours. These live stream brought to you by Heart of Racing. We've just talked to Alex Riberas there, and driver in that beautiful Aston Martin, Heart of Racing Aston Martin. Thanks to Gabe and his team for all they're doing, not only supporting this live stream, but all they're doing with Heart of Racing. It's a real credit to you. And so there's the website, www.theheartofracing.co.nz. Jump on there, follow their website, look out for them on Facebook, support what they're doing. You'll have the opportunity to donate to Starship. They're doing this to raise money for the Starship Hospital, and you might live in part of the country where you think, oh, that's just Auckland, but you know, the Starship Hospital is our key hospital for children right throughout the country, and there's people that, you know, from as far south as Bluff and Invercargill and right to the north that have had to rely on Starship Hospital for children of this country. So it's a valuable cause that you never know when you might need it, or someone that you love may need it. So every little donation helps. Don't think, oh, my $5 isn't going to matter. It all matters. So jump on the Heart of Racing website and join them in raising money for Starship. Right, the car's coming round McKissick. Here they come into the hairpin. If we're racing, the lights will go out on top of the safety car, and then it'll all be up to Johnny Reid. Yep, the safety car's pulling away. Safety car's into the pits. We're going to be racing. They're all lined up, side by side. Johnny Reid, Heart of Racing. That'll be Darren in the car, of course. Johnny Mack in behind. That's the car to watch. And we're racing. We're away. Oh, big hit. He's still running. He's going to get back on track, but that's not the Audi out. We're going to try and get a replay. Going into turn one here is so dangerous. There's so many cars. Camaro's in the lead. By the look of, oh no, the Heart of Racing's in the lead. Not sure who's hit him. We'll have a replay shortly. Settle down, boys. There's still 3 hours to go. Heart of Racing's taking the lead. That was... Oh, is that a bit of damage on the front of the Heart of Racing? We're going to have a look at it from here. So now, they're still red, they're still red, they're still red. Now we're racing. We were racing. Oh, and Johnny Reid's moved over onto the Heart of Racing there. Yeah. Yeah, so there's a bit of damage. It looks like it's okay. It's not, there's no rubbing, but Darren will be on the radio to the team. They'll be monitoring the car. He'll be reporting back, but he's got a clean set of heels and he's taken off. That could have been very bad. I mean, it's bad enough as it is, but that could have been seriously bad. Seem to have lost one of our cameras round the back of the field. We're working on that. We've lost camera 4, so working on getting that sorted out. So we've got Darren Kelly out in the lead. Second is the Gilbertson McIntyre car. I imagine that's Simon in the car. Ooh, a little bit twitchy through turn 1. There could be some rubbish on that main straight there. And then you've got Scotty O'Donnell and Andrew Waite in the Audi. Now he's going to have a look. He's got a run on him. No, that eight litres of Camaro is just too much power down that back straight. Oh, is it the Rickleby Rhodes car? It's had a bit of a spin. We gave them a bit of a hard time at Ruapuna. Oxford Edge is the new brand of their accounting firm, accounting and business advisory. So I give them a plug now. So this is on them, and so it's worth taking note that these are sponsors that support motorsport, which we love. So support those that support our sport. Right. So Darren's across the road, 3 laps gone. Everyone's settled down a bit after a bit of argy-bargy at the start. So come back onto the track, completing 4 laps it should be. Yep. Starting to lap traffic. You can see the little Peugeot of Tim Stanton and Leighton Tremaine. It'll be Tim Stanton in the car. Send the pro driver out to do the first stint. Bit of strategy by those guys. Okay. So Foster Reed got the bull by the horns. Fastest lap so far, 1:01. So trying to make their way back. Looks like the Moore car trying to get out of the way of the Audi coming through. One of the A-class runners in the up to 2 litre getting out of the way of the Camaro. Those fast front runners coming through. Look, they're racing like it's a 6-lap race. This is just nose to tail, and we've still got 2 hours 54 to go. Keep on like this all day, it's going to be exhausting for the commentator if nothing else. Now I understand that the whole of Italy has now moved towards supporting the Audis, so they're going to have a late night. The guys are frantically working in our team here to try and get those cameras going around the back of the track, so bear with us, and we apologise for that that issue that we're having. So the Camaro's just looking like it's almost holding these guys up. The we maybe turned the whip back a wee bit on that thing so they get some reliability. They've been really fast, and their best lap so far is a 1:03. So full tank of fuel and maybe winding it back a bit so they can try and get 180 minutes out of that car. Race settling down now. We're into lap 6. So all the testosterone has been released, the adrenaline's been released, and now a chance to get into a rhythm. So Camaro coming up into the hairpin. Foster Reed car in P4 now. So it's P2. It's P3 on your screen now, followed by P4, P5. So that's Christina in the car, I think. This is a great little scrap. Oh, he's left the door open. No, he's going to have a look. No, not enough. Not close enough. You have to be a bit quicker than that getting up there. So the Audi's got plenty of pace. It's 2 seconds quicker than the Camaro at the moment. Just not in the right places. He's trying to get past him, but the Camaro's so wide through that midfield and then so fast down the back straight. So he needs to be up a bit tighter. So you're going to have a look into P1. No, he's too far back. Camaro's pulled away. So he's going to have to he's going to have to master the hairpin there if he's going to be able to get him at turn 1. So he's really needs to be holding on to the tail of him at turn 1. Unless he can draft him down the back straight, then the Camaro's just got just slightly too much that he's going to have another look here. It's not the best place to pass, not at these speeds with these cars. So I think his best option is turn 1, but he's going to have to get the hairpin right to set himself up through the main straight to be in position to be able to get the nose down the inside at turn 1. Even then there's a fair amount of risk. It's too far back there now. Come on to the main straight. Oh, lights are flashing, coming up on lap traffic. It's a bit of a balancing act when you've got another fast car behind you. Do you take your time with the lap traffic, or do you have to put your nose up there, especially with lap traffic like these TCR cars, which are still quite quick, and they corner quicker than a lot of these faster cars, so they can create a bit of havoc. There we go, he's taken position for P3. Just took him around the outside, got the good run out of Castrol. That's what happened there. So, mate, that Camaro slowed down. Camaro might have a problem. Let's have a look when they come into the hairpin. Should be coming. Here he comes now, but he's dropped way back. He's lit the Audi past, 2 Audis past, and the Aston Martin past. He's not looking at the pits. I don't know what's happened there. It definitely looked like the car had slowed, so it wasn't like he had gone off the track or anything. He seems to be back on the pace again. So saw that in the race one with Chris Henderson, that had a moment in it was like it went into limp mode for a period. He seems to be back up to speed now, so I'm not sure. I don't think he would have dropped his sandwich, not this early in the race. So now we're so big large number of people coming out to watch. We're still having a couple of technical issues, so please bear with us. We want to be showing you more of the track than we can at the moment. Guys are running around with tools and batteries and who knows what else. So here we go, Camaro back through 1, 2, the first corner S's into Castrol, the big sweeper. Car looks fine. So not sure why he's dropped those places. He's down into 5th place now. 11.8 seconds off the leader. Okay, now my screen is showing that the Heart of Racing car is where? Okay, I think I can just see it going down the back straight now. So our live timing might be, and my lap's live timing might be playing up here. So I'm just going to reboot this so I can keep you up to speed with what we got going on. Eventful race so far. So we had that incident, turn 1, right at the start, was always a risk. These fast cars. Okay, I've lost the Heart of Racing car off my timing, but there he is on the screen. So Heart of Racing car, beautiful Aston Martin, the latest from the Aston Martin stable. So pretty much purpose-built race car, just a gorgeous bit of kit. And Heart of Racing, of course, being the main sponsor of this live stream, so we're hugely thankful to them for helping us bring this 3-hour endurance race from Timaru, South Island of New Zealand to you. So despite what the oh, there we go, we've got them back up again. We've rebooted my technology, and yes, Heart of Racing still in the lead, and by a good amount. The best lap, 1 minute flat, well, 1 minute point 7, so pretty much a 1 minute flat. The fastest lap, no surprise, Johnny Reid, but not that much quicker. So he's now up into 3rd place. So after that little incident, the then he's done well to put himself back into contention. I'll be a bit disappointed with that, but that's also racing. But Harder Racing looking very comfortable here. They've been, as you saw with the interview with Alex, they're very cool, calm, collected, and just here to enjoy themselves and not making a big thing of it, and then going out and leading the race, and of course winning the first 2 rounds of the South Island Endurance Series. So they're certainly a class act. They're they've got International Motorsport doing all the pit work and car prep for them, but Darren Kelly and Alex Riberas are driven incredibly well. So just having a fast car is not everything. These guys have worked hard and driving incredibly well. So this is John Jones. This is a fast corner here, quick corner. Got camera 4 going again. That's good. So that's what we just saw there was John Jones at the end of the straight, right up the top there. So that's a bit of a punch on the brakes, about 80 metres down a gear and turn it in. You can drift wide, but that's why you're seeing in some of the racing a bit of dust, because the cars drift slightly too wide there. It's got some risk attached to it. And there we go, Harder Racing cross the line for another lap. That would be lap 16. Should be lap 16. He completed 15 laps, so he's on to lap 16. And a last lap was a 1 minute 0.1, so he's going a bit quicker again. So in race pace, 1 minute round here is really, really quick. The lap record, I think, during a race, I'll just check that for you. Lap record during a race was a 58.6, and that was in 2018 by Neil Foster and Gene Rollinson in the Audi R8 LMS. So will we see that beaten today? We've got new turf down at the end of the track there, so the guys were complaining about it was a wee bit slippery, but the lap times don't indicate that it's a problem. Right, there was a bit of dust going into that corner coming onto the main straight. Little Peugeot still chugging along. Where is he in the field? Let me have a look for you. Yep, he's 24th, so that is technically last, and he's 4 laps down from the leader, so they keep getting past about every 3 or 4 laps around here. Best lap of 1:19, so he'd be happy with that, Tim. We're going to give him a call shortly, let him settle down. We'll give him a ring and see how he's getting on. Oh, it's getting busy on the main straight. Here's the Moors. They haven't raced the first 2 rounds. Father and son of Grant and Matt Moore. Right, back onto the leader. Heart of Racing, Aston Martin. Beautiful Heart of Racing at Aston Martin. Look at the pace of it, just picking up those tail guys. Right, the Camaro's still going, so I'm not sure what happened to it earlier, but it's dropped them back into 6th place. They're still lapping okay, 103s. So they're still about where they were. So yeah, don't know if that was a driver issue, or hopefully it was a driver issue and the car's great. That's the goal. But it's getting to the point now where the beautiful Heart of Racing Aston Martin's going to have them in their sights. So they're looking at potentially getting lapped. It's got that Porsche 991 needs to get out of the way. Alan Dippy. The issue you have in this type of racing is that those fast cars, the Porsche I'm talking about, are not used to being passed. So when you get even faster cars, these GT3 cars at the top end of the field, it's unusual for them to be having to look in their mirrors so much. So it's a bit of a challenge, a bit of a test. Right, so we've got, what's the gap to Simon? 43 seconds. So there's and Darren's about a couple of seconds a lap faster than the Gilberts and McIntyre car. So another 20 laps, and they could be looking at being lapped. So they'll be a bit frustrated about that because it's still early days. We're only 20 minutes into the race. So Neil Foster and Johnny Reid up into second. So they've made up a fair amount of real estate considering the issue they had at turn 1. And that will have shaken the driver up for a minute. We'll be passing the blame on to everyone else and denying responsibility. Usually takes video replay and some settling down to see reason. So, right, 20 laps gone, and we're not quite 22 minutes in. So the pace is pretty good, pretty hot. Darren's got no pressure on him, so he's he'll be happy. He just needs to stay in that rhythm, keep his nose clean, keep out of trouble. He's got 24 seconds back to Johnny Reid, and they're lapping at maybe 200ths faster, depending on traffic. So no pressure really, no pressure. So we're coming up to half an hour gone already. 3-hour race. Ticos are still working on getting those cameras at the back of the field sorted out, so we apologise for that. I can assure you that they are working as hard and fast as they can. So we started with 24 cars, and by the look of it, we've still got 24 cars out there, so so that's good news. There's the Foster Reid car coming across the start-finish line again. A little bit slower than the harder racing car, so they're dropping back 700ths. Here's the Camaro passing the Peugeot going into turn 1 and 2. We're car looks fine. Car looks good. Getting busy on the main straight. Again, passing the slower cars. Okay, here's the Foster Reid car. Got a bit of lap traffic. That's the Hayden Padding car. And Jordan Mickles. They're in 9th place. They'll be happy with that. I'm assuming that's Jordan in the car. Doing 104s. Good and consistency with that car. Right, got one of those cameras back, which is great. You can see the cars coming out of the hairpin there. Harder racing onto the main straight. So another 24 laps gone. What's the gap? 24 laps gone, and we've got Foster Reed car coming through onto Main Straight. Yep, 20 seconds, 20.7 seconds. So he's made up a wee bit of time. He's got a bit of traffic, so that can swing either way. You see he's going to be held up there a wee bit. It was a slower last lap by the by Darren, about 1.3 seconds slower than Johnny. So right, now we've got some footage back from the back of the track. Thanks, guys. I can assure you that there was they were working their butts off and saying naughty words to get that rectified. As you can see, we've got a few signal issues because a lot of these cameras are on a they're not on cable, they're on an aerial system, so it's quite difficult here because the back of the track is tucked around a corner. So we've got fibre running in different areas, a couple of kilometres of fibre, but we've also had to use some aerials to get this footage to you. So right, we've got the Christina or West into the pits by the look of it. So are they doing a splash and dash? Are they doing it early? It's interesting because I was talking to Christina and Brendan actually yesterday about strategy, and we did discuss the fact that the splash and dash early in the day can give you a few options as the race goes on. So maybe they are doing exactly that. We'll try and keep you posted because I'll see them go past shortly, but it's still showing them in the pits, so I'll have to monitor that. Right, there's the Foster Reed car across the line. Okay, the difference back out to 24 seconds again. So yeah, so Darren's put the pedal down. He's done a 1.02, so a quick lap, just to get that comfort zone back again. Right, so it looks like the All West car's back out. So I'm assuming that was a splash and dash. I'll let you know when I see the lap time. That will give me a bit of an indication. Now, this is the Scotty O'Donnell and Andrew Waite car. The car belongs to Dennis Chapman. He just was highly motivated to see it out on track, and so yeah, so we're quite fortunate to have that car out there. Now, my understanding is, and this is highly confidential, so don't tell anyone other than those people listening all around the world, that there is an international driver in quarantine waiting to drive this car at the final at Highlands in 3 weeks' time. So you heard it here first, but it's a secret, so don't let on to everyone. Yeah, I'm not very good at keeping secrets. So expect to see that car, which is sitting in third and lapping quite nicely, 101.7 the last lap. It's got a fastest lap of 1 minute and 0.9, so it's more than capable of being there or thereabouts. So right, we're coming up to 1 minute and so we're coming up to 30 minutes in. So I'm thinking we might have a look through how the classes are going with half an hour gone in the race and all cars still on track. So if we start off with, let's look at the A class. And so this is, the A class is up to 2 litres, so these are naturally aspirated, so no turbos or anything in there. And we've got, in first place is the Phillips car in their class, and second place the Haycoop Cooley, and in third place the Moore car, so Grant and Matt Moore, which is the car you see on screen just kicking up a bit of dust, and that will be Grant in the car. Yeah, so they're the top three in the A class. B class, surprise, surprise, Jordan Mickles and Hayden Padden, followed by the Moore Mackesy car and the Shepherd Fitzgerald car. The top three in B class. C class, we've got two competitors in C class, and they are Scotty McDermott and his brother McDermott, name escapes me, followed by Davis Mitchell, and so two competitors in the C class. The D class is the Gaunt Slight car, Aaron Slight, followed by Anthony Lee's Paul Kelly, and then the Dippy car, and then into obviously the E class, we've got Alex Riberas and Darren Kelly, the Foster Reed car and the O'Donnell Waite car. They are your class leaders at the half an hour gone mark. And now I've got joining me Kate.
Hello.
Hey, how you going?
Good.
So, how's the day going?
Busy. Yeah.
Busy's not good, is it?
No, it's because it's our last round for the series. It does mean we have our series prize giving tonight.
Right.
Giving away the honours for the whole 3 rounds so far. So it's more just working for that.
So it's busy doing admin, which is better than busy fighting fires.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
But no, I can always find 10 minutes for you though.
Oh, you're wonderful. So it's good to have you here. So Kate, you're the coordinator of the South Island Endurance Series.
Yeah.
So congratulations on another successful series. And the day seems to be going to plan. No major incidents, which is what we like, and great racing.
Yeah, fantastic racing. I mean, a couple of things happening on the track, but nothing that seems to be keeping everyone off the track.
Yeah, look to be racing incidents. So that's good. We've got the harder racing car looking now to lap the McIntyre and Gilbertson car. So they've got them in their sights.
That's pretty impressive for only half an hour into the race.
Half an hour into the race, and the leaders are about to lap an 8-litre V8, which is a weapon and was quick in qualifying. Obviously they had a bit of an issue though, to be fair, but also Darren's driving like a champion. You wouldn't think he hadn't driven much circuit racing.
No.
Well, in a straight line anyway.
Exactly.
So
yeah, I do know that Simon's in the Camaro at the moment.
So Simon is in the Camaro.
Yeah, and he is just finding his feet. I asked the team why it dropped before, and I think it was just a case of, he needed to just let them pass to get his, find his grounding again. And
right. So he could settle.
Yeah, so he could settle in. So there was no issues.
Right.
It was just, get rid of them and focus on what he's doing.
Yeah. Okay, so that's actually smart driving, really.
It's a long race.
It's a long race, and it's not. It can only be lost in the early stages. It can't necessarily be won.
Yeah, and I mean Johnny's super quick, and he qualified it in third spot.
Yep.
And so then handed it to Simon and said, "Good luck."
Yeah. And once they put Johnny in the car, Johnny has a racing style, which is once you're in the car, just race.
He's incredible.
It's full noise, isn't it?
Awesome to see when he gets in the car.
Yeah. Yep. So Simon's not looking like he wants to give up that place.
Not easily, anyway.
Not easily. So you better be careful. We're getting a blue flag shortly.
I think he was given a bit of a warning last time about blocking a little bit, so he's got to be a little bit careful that he doesn't do that again. Yeah,
well, and he's, in such a fast car, he's probably not used to having to look in the mirrors either, to be fair.
No.
And
certainly not this quick into the race.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but the team should be on the radio to him, just letting him know that that car is actually trying to pass him as a lapping car.
Yeah, it's not a fight for position.
No. And as he did earlier on, he doesn't want to be in a battle here with a car that can only be a problem to him, you know.
Yeah.
So so hopefully they'll get through there soon. I'm just having a look to see how much of an impact that's causing to Darren, because Darren also doesn't have a lot of track racing experience. So
he's only used to one car around him, not
absolutely
23 others.
Yeah, so we'll just keep an eye on this, that this doesn't go pear-shaped, because as much as that's harder racing is an amazing piece of machinery, and you can see how much quicker it is over the GT4 spec car. We just need to be aware of the experience that Darren doesn't have compared with Simon, for example. So successful series, so congratulations for that, because it's been challenging. Like the first round was a challenge with COVID, obviously.
Yeah, it made things a bit different, but we got there and we went racing, and I think for everyone else, it's what they wanted to happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And so now, with the harder racing car on the screen, of course, we've been, blessed in so many ways, because we're now able to do this whole live stream thanks to harder racing, and that really has helped improve the profile, isn't it? It's we've got people watching from around the world, and
absolutely, because you can't travel at the moment, not freely anyway.
No.
You can't just easily hop to a racetrack and watch the action unfold. And I mean, Teretonga, it was only last minute that they allowed spectators to come, so being able to stream this live all around the world has really just opened up the doors for SUDEC to everyone. Yeah.
Now this is interesting, because in reality Simon should have been blue flagged by now, because that gap to second place is dropped by 5 seconds. So this is really costing harder racing a bit of time now, and it'd be sad to see this impact on the race. And certainly Darren's letting him know that he's there. I mean, Simon's just driving his own race. It doesn't look like he's purposely blocking him, but you can see there he's just so much quicker down the back straight.
I think it's working in Simon's favour, though. Looking at the times, he's almost doing his best times of the day, and he probably likes having someone behind him, but I'm not sure if Darren's thinking the same.
No, the feeling isn't mutual. So now they're coming up on some other lap traffic, and that makes it even harder, because it fills that gap where you normally may be able to put your nose up.
Yeah.
And I'm just not sure, until the flag marshals start to do something, where the best place for Darren to grab him is going to be.
Yeah, like you say, the traffic makes it that he gets right up there, and then they get stuck behind one car, and that gap is gone again.
Yeah, race control need to take some control over this, actually, because it's not actually fair, and it's not good racing,
potentially,
in my opinion.
Yeah, potentially it's being said on race radio. We don't have race radio
right
here.
Yeah.
I know last time they did say on the radio, it just depends on how much is being transmitted at the moment.
Sure. Yep.
Oh, I just see Hayden Padden in the pits in the background of that last shot there.
Right, and I've got
just going in front of us.
Yep, so he's out. Pulled in, and I've also got Foster Reed in the pit on the screen, on my timing screen. So that's
quite early, I would have thought.
That is quite early. They certainly can't do a driver change, because we're only 40 minutes in. So unless they're playing the splash and dash card now as well, while they've got Darren held up by the Camaro.
Yeah, it's interesting to see the cars still behind.
Oh, he's going to have a look around the outside.
He's getting frustrated, isn't he?
Yeah, he is getting frustrated. Can he pull down on the inside of him?
Oh, he's certainly trying.
We've got is Hayden. Was it Hayden in the car? Do you know? Or
yeah, Hayden started the race.
Okay. Okay.
It does sound like it's going out
Sound
again.
like it's going out again. So
It was quite a
yep,
long stop though.
that is quite a long stop.
Car looks fantastic though on the
Yeah,
circuit,
it
doesn't
just
it?
looks beautiful, doesn't it? And it's so good to see some TCR cars in New Zealand.
It'd be so nice for Jordan to hop in that car too, because there was a heartbreaking finish for him
Yeah,
in the 1 hour.
exactly. Yep.
He'll be looking forward to doing some laps.
Yeah, absolutely. So what was the problem he had in the 1 hour?
Overheating apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it came in a couple of times I think, and it actually sounded like it wouldn't be too bad. They'd just monitor it, and then all of a sudden they were pushing it into the pits.
And that was it.
That was
the,
it, yeah.
The day over for that car.
And unfortunately the championship over too.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay, that's devastating. But it's endurance racing. It's not an endurance race. It's it's 3 races, so you've got to be consistent. And we've seen that with the little Peugeot, of course. But consistency pays off. And we see it on the screen there, and it's just kept going and kept going. Even finished. They blew a rear brake in Ruapuna, basically blocked the hose off and continued on with 3 brakes on the car, but finished the race and got the points.
You've
right.
Got to finish,
So yeah.
Hayden looks like he's doing a great job out there.
He is doing a great job.
He was telling me this morning he's only ever done 15 minutes of actual true circuit racing with cars around him. So
Right.
that's not much for having another vehicle near you.
No, exactly.
He doesn't mind the tarmac, with his rally experience. Some of the rallies were tarmac racing. It was just the cars around him that had him a bit, I guess, alert.
Yeah. So that's the Aaron Slight. And who's in with Aaron? That's
Daniel Gaunson.
Daniel Gaunson there. Yeah.
That's an awesome pairing in that car.
It is, isn't it?
I mean, Slight's he's got a big extensive motorsport history, but he's a rider.
Yeah, he's a motorbike rider.
Yeah, he's not a car racer. So, just because he's awesome on a bike, you just don't know how he'll be in a car. But he's doing an awesome job.
Doing a great job. He was quite animated yesterday. I was having a sort of a chat with a group of us, and after he came in, and it was like, it's so slippery out there. It was, it was quite a test for him, but he was certainly enjoying himself. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, he was at Ruapuna with Shane in the car, so he's had a little bit of time to get used to it. But
right.
All things considered, he's doing an awesome job.
And again, another beautiful Aston Martin, which we refer to as the slow one, which is quite bizarre, really.
Him and Darren might have to have a chat later and say, motorbikes versus drifting, what's the go?
Yeah. Well, yeah, when you think about between the 2 Aston Martins, we're covering at least 3 different types of motorsport, So we've got, drifting and racing and motorcycles.
Yeah.
And then we've got Hayden with,
the rally.
rally. So, so it's fantastic to watch.
Yeah, we had Roger Nees in the 1 hour, who's a stock car driver as well, of many years. So
Yeah. Chris was saying he claimed to do a bit, but a bit was like 30 years of stock cars or something.
Yeah, I think he said, I've done a little bit. I've done about 36 years.
Yeah.
Seems endurance racing is enticing more.
Yep. So the great thing is we're 45 minutes in, and all cars that started are still running. So. Great.
Well, let's say touch wood on that.
Yeah,
one.
touch wood. A great effort by everyone.
That's cool to see the 2 V-dubs out there side by side. Close
Yeah,
section.
absolutely. Now, wondering where our race leader is, because that gap to second place has dropped to 15 seconds. So that little battle with Simon has really been has really affected them to the point where you possibly would have considered doing your splash and dash early if they're going to need more fuel to get to the end of this race as well.
Just to get rid of that.
Just to get out of that
out of
that flow, out of that battle, which was a battle that was never going to achieve anything. So we've got the Dale ITM car. That'll be Christina in the car, and sponsored by Dale ITM. Now this is amazing actually, because the Days who sponsor the drivers in this vehicle own 2 or 3 ITMs, as I understand it, in the Auckland
Yeah,
region.
they got 3 in Auckland, I believe.
3 in Auckland. But to their credit, the profile that they bring to ITM by supporting motorsport up and down the country is amazing. Because there's no benefit directly to the days for coming down here and racing and funding this.
Dale ITM's in Rosebank in Auckland.
Yeah.
So it's, as much as we'd want to go and support them, it's not something we can actually physically do.
Yeah.
So for them to still put their name and branding on the car is awesome.
And their dollars, because remember, it's their dollars that they've worked hard for.
Absolutely.
And they and there they are sponsoring these guys, which is such a blessing. So if you're in Auckland and you need hardware stuff, the other guys are going to see that.
Yeah, and the Days run the Motorsport Club up in Auckland as well. They run the volunteers that make Auckland Motorsport happen. Not even just Auckland, like they go to Taupo and Hampton Downs and everything. These are guys that just give so much time in their personal time as well to motorsport, as well as their business funding.
Yeah, and that's obviously in their spare time.
Yeah.
Right? Who has spare time when you got all that
this
to
is
do?
their spare time. They're down here.
And they're down here.
Yeah.
And apparently they make bacon and egg pie.
They do, but I
one of
haven't
them.
seen some yet.
I haven't seen any myself.
They haven't chased me with some.
Yeah,
so.
all we've heard is the rumours. But I think Adam's had some, but because he's the star of the show by going down there and interviewing everyone. We just get locked up in this little room. They throw us some biscuits and water, usually water crackers, and that's our life.
I see Hard Racing's back on screen, and they are no longer following the Camaro.
Yeah, so they'll be relieved about that, and that lead's gone back out to 16.5 seconds. So
I see the Camaro in the back of the screen there. It's already made so much ground.
Yeah, so that will have been frustrating for them, but
it's a long race,
interesting
though.
to watch. It's a long race, and it's a good experience for Darren. Not that he necessarily needs it, but it's a real test to be able to get past one of those faster cars. So
and that's a big car as well. It's
it's
not the easiest car to get past on a good day. So.
No. So there we go, on screen, the beautiful Heart of Racing Aston Martin.
I'm just seeing as well, third place, which was just behind it, is the 87 Audi of Scott O'Donnell and Andrew Waite, which is a new pairing for the weekend.
Yeah, and they're actually circulating quite nicely. Do you know who's in the car there?
I did know. Let me see if I can find my handy bit of information.
Oh, you got some.
I did find out some
data.
trade secrets at the start of the day.
Because you can throw your weight around and force people to tell you stuff. Because you're like,
I pretend that I can. Anyway.
Coordinator.
So my piece of handy information is telling me that Scott's in the car at the moment.
Okay, he'll be happy.
Yeah.
He was a happy boy yesterday. the fact that he gets to drive this car, he was quite animated about it.
Yeah, he's pretty much driven Porsches for as long as I can remember, and so jumping into the R8 is an awesome experience for him.
Yeah, it was funny because whenever I've seen Scott, he's had beautiful cars that he's driven, and he's telling me this is like a bucket list dream come true, and it's like you of all people, like the opportunities that he's had, he's been really fortunate with, and there he was excited about driving this car.
And it's awesome too because Scott's the president of Surdeck, so he does a whole lot of work behind the scenes. So it's awesome to see him out there in the top 3 spot at the moment too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bit of internal bias there.
As I mentioned earlier, to be fair, when the first time he went out yesterday and in practice, he did look like he was driving like a bit of a Nancy, but
you probably would when it's not your car.
When it's not your car.
I think the new seal as well is the first time proper rubber's gone down, so there's a few people just figuring it out. But
takes a bit of getting used to.
From what I've heard from the 1A guys, it's had a lot of time of rubber on it this morning, so it's getting better and faster.
Yep, and the times are pretty consistent. Clearly, Foster Reed are trying to push hard, but that lead's gone back out to 18.8. So.
But they've done super well considering very first corner of the very first lap they were, almost down the back of the pack after that spin.
Yeah. So I don't know if you saw it on screen, but it looked like is it Johnny in the car? You've got that
Let me
information
refer
there.
to my thing again. No, wait, hang on. Where am I looking? No, it's Neil on the car.
Oh, it is Neil in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it did look like he pulled left a bit. So he might have to swallow a wee bit of humble pie there and put his hand up. But thankfully, both cars are still going, and
I mean, interesting though. If it is Neil in the car, that was their plan from early this morning. But if it's him in the car, he's got the fastest lap time of everyone out there.
Yeah, no, he's driving
and he's,
incredibly well.
considered to be the slower driver
Yeah,
of the two.
Yep.
So if that's what they're doing now, and Johnny's still to get in the car.
Yeah, yep. And Johnny will be dead keen to get in the car because of,
I am slightly inclined to believe that perhaps it is Johnny in the car. I'd have to go do a bit of digging and find out if that plan changed.
Yeah, I wouldn't imagine. I think they'd be wanting to put Johnny up against Alex, but to be credit to Darren, he's driving incredibly well for someone that has done really no circuit racing.
Absolutely.
And he's
battle pack in the first corner.
Yeah, and he's mixing it with with some highly experienced drivers.
A lot of these guys have done a whole lot of laps in endurance racing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Hayden finds that with a big fast Camaro blasting past on the back straight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to quizzing him on that experience.
He might be looking for more in the pedal. Who knows?
Well, there's certainly the sensation in the car when cars like the Camaro go past. Even though you're going flat out, the car still shakes with the vibration of some of those big V8s going past you, and even the Audis and those cars. It can be quite unsettling. It takes a wee bit of getting used to. So that's something that Hayden won't be used to.
No. There's quite a big battle going on here, a mix of cars.
Yeah, yep. So it's great to watch.
The 991 Porsche on the screen, which is now the Dickey brothers after Scott's hopped in the R8. So it's Alan and Martin back together in the Porsche.
Right, fantastic.
Martin's only been doing the 1 hour, but stepped up to jump in with Alan so that the car could keep running in the 3 hours since Scott decided that he'd change flavour for the weekend.
That's good. And as we see coming around Castrol, it looks like a good crowd of people out to watch.
Looks like it, yeah. There's quite a few cars in the bank.
Yeah.
They're probably quite lucky they can have their car because it's not the warmest out there.
No, it's cooled down a bit, isn't it? Even up here, it's got a bit cooler.
Good though, it's probably perfect conditions for these guys out there.
Yep.
Which is why you're still surprised when you see the likes of Jordan Mickles having overheating problems.
Yeah.
I don't think it's due to the air temperature.
No. Oh, a bit of dust in the back there. It's so easy to flick dust up after that John Jones, where they've fixed the track up and they've piled dirt up to sort out that lip. And
it took me a long time to realise it wasn't just people going off every single lap. It was, it just takes a little...
Just being close
just
to it.
Just a little bit,
yeah.
It helped the heart rate after a while once I figured that out.
So, in the points, who's got it all to play for in the classes here?
Well, obviously the overall we've got the hard racing guys up there in the pointy end, and funny enough, we've got what's called a rookie title as well, which is people that have never raced in the last so many years in the class as well, and ironically, brand new to the series this year, both of them, they're leading that one. Pretty much the class for the 3 hour anyway, the overalls and Class E is the same because it is the Class E cars that do dominate this field.
Sure.
1 hour's a bit different. We had C's mixed in with the D's, but for the 3 hour it's mostly, it is all Class E cars.
Yep.
Down in Class D, and in for the overallers as well, is the Kelly and Lee's Porsche.
Right, so they'll be hard to beat by the look of it, as long as they finish.
Yeah. I didn't end up finding out what happened to them this morning in qualifying.
Someone had an off at the hairpin.
Yeah, they did. But I never saw the car to know if there was any damage or not. But
No,
they're out there, so
they're out there, so that's good.
Yeah, so they're pretty. Yeah, I think they're up in the overalls and they're solid team in contention as well.
Right. Class C.
Yeah, so C's really interesting. So this weekend we've got the McDermott 86 car, and we've got the goodness, I can't think of their names. Oh, the Flynn Mitchell and Cameron Davies RX-8 as well. And I've noticed them before. They're pretty much on the same lap, battling along with each other, which is such a cool battle to see because they're both home builds and they both put a lot of work into their cars.
Yep.
And being the same car, it's awesome that they've got each other to battle with.
Yeah, absolutely. So they in reality, because they've started the race, the McDermott car will take out Class C because they will get points for starting, correct?
They will get points for starting.
Yep.
Well, I just realised that the form what you have is actually incorrect.
Administration issue.
Administration issue, yes.
Okay.
I'll let you keep talking.
Yeah, so so Class C, which was traditionally the hand grenade class, because they're quite a lot of home builds and 3 hours is a long time, they don't necessarily always win.
Yeah.
So should they? So the points are quite close there, is that right? 95 points is leading.
Yeah, so the McDermott car is the one to win this weekend.
Right.
But the Mitchell's car is not far behind at all.
Right. So they're in with a sniff. So
they are in with a sniff, absolutely.
Yeah. So there's 9 points in it. So if they both finish, then
it just depends on who sits where and how far away they are as well. Obviously, in terms of overall how far away they are, but in their class, yeah.
Yeah.
If McDermott's finish ahead, they take the title.
Well, I think if they finish,
anyway,
as long as they both finish, the McDermott should take it out, which is
really
fantastic.
Awesome to see, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, the Davies and Mitchell car was at Tiratonga, but unfortunately they had problems, which mean they never got onto the track to get any points, and it's a shame because even just starting qualifying would have got them 10 points, which would have made today maybe a whole different story.
Absolutely, and really, really frustrating, and you really felt for them because they took the car all the way down there, they did everything right, and then a relatively small thing, but required major work to be able to rectify. And
they worked so long over the off season to be able to get that car ready, with endurance racing being the goal.
Yeah, and they're rookies as well, so they're new to it this year round.
Yeah, they normally do the 1 hour. That's their first time in the 3 hour, which is awesome to see.
Yep, which is cool. And then down to the B class.
Yeah, so leading pretty much the entire time has been the Rowan Shepherd Fitzgerald Symes car. That's the Tractech Audi.
Right.
Barry Moore and Tim Mackesy were looking to take that off them, but unfortunately had dramas at Ruapuna, which meant that they didn't finish the race. So I guess, again, it depends on how the race goes for Rowan and Lachlan. It's theirs to lose, I suppose you can say.
Yeah.
Yep. And unfortunately, again, the Reece Gould and Jaden Ransley car, they've just had endless amounts of drama with a new engine they purchased in February. So unfortunately, they were out as of this morning. Yeah,
so we've had, over the course of the last 2 days, a couple of these TCR cars have had a couple of issues, which is a bit unusual because they're based on a fairly standard production model.
Well, they don't seem to touch them too much to make things wrong. I mean, I asked Reece the question the other day, or yesterday, because I said to him, last year, same engine, same car, flawless season.
Right.
What was wrong this year? And they said they bought a new engine in February, and whether it's a dud, I'm not sure. They've had endless problems with it.
Right. Okay, so it's not a given yet in the Class B, because they're still going to finish.
Yeah. And we saw at Ruapuna, anything can happen.
Anything can happen,
yeah.
Exactly. And then finally Class A, which is the 0 to 2 litre.
Yeah, well, going into this round, the Noel Simons David Berry car and the Tim Stanton Leighton Tremaine Peugeot, they were tied overall on points, but when you get into the classes, there's only 1 point separating them.
Right.
With the Simons and Berry car on top.
Yep.
Can we see with us sitting in the points at the moment?
Right.
Interesting to see.
In the overall or
just in
on
class.
The track?
Yeah, on the track, yeah.
Yep. I can tell you that the Peugeot is last. Oh, hold on. Why is it not showing me all the positions there?
Technology, eh?
Oh, don't you hate it? Come on.
Well, it does show the Simons and Berry car sitting in third, which means
third,
it is ahead
which
of
they are behind them,
yeah. They are ahead of the Peugeot.
Yeah, why is this doing this?
It's great to see the Phillips car leading Class A because they've had quite a hard run of luck this weekend.
Yeah.
This season.
Yeah. So the what we know is though that the Stanton car will need to finish ahead of the Simonsbury car.
Correct.
In order to take out the the A class.
Yes.
And as long as they finish, I don't think they can do any worse than second. I don't think because the Taylor Maloney car's not there.
The Phillips are there, so the Phillips are only 5 points behind the Taylor Maloney car, which straight away they've got 20 points for starting this race, so they're now sitting in third place.
Right. Okay. But they're 71 points behind.
Yeah.
Tim and Leighton, so they can't make up 71
unless
points.
Someone
as long
has
as
a bad day.
And if someone has a bad day. So that's interesting, and it's going to be interesting to watch. So while we come up to 1 hour gone, we're a third of the way through the race. Let's just have a look at the class leaders now. So Class A, the Phillips car is leading that.
They're on screen at the moment too.
They're on screen at the moment. Is on cue. Thank you, production. Followed by Haycoop Cooley, and then the Simonsbury car that we've just been talking about. So the Haycoop Cooley's a little Toyota Corolla. It's going well.
It is going really well.
They were at Ruapuna and had some problems, is that right?
Yeah, they I don't know what happened in the end, but I think it was half an hour out they didn't finish the race, and which was pretty gutting for them because they're a pretty kickback, team that just want to go out and go racing.
Yeah.
To fall short was, not great for them, but it's good to see them back.
Yep. And then in the B class, which is the 2 litre to 3.5 litre, Moore Mackesy, followed by Shepherd Fitzgerald, and then the driver Hood entry. And Hayden Padden and Mickles is in 4th because they've done 2 pit stops, I think. So they may have had a bit of an issue with that car.
Well, they did come in and stop for a bit, didn't they? So it'd be interesting to find out what was wrong.
Yeah, what was wrong there. So, and then Higgany and is in 5th, and Askew in 6th. The Class C is the McDermott car, and followed by Davies Mitchell. And then Class D is Aaron Slight and
Daniel Gaunt.
Daniel Gaunt, followed by Anthony Lees and Paul Kelly. Now they'll be a little bit disappointed because they've normally got a bit more pace than that, I would have thought. So, but that's okay. They're playing a long game because they're looking quite good in the points.
Yeah,
so,
they are.
And then the Martin and Alan Dippy in 3rd, the Barrett Frew in 4th, Rhodes Rickaby in 5th, and Williams Blythe car in 6th in Class D. And then, of course, our Class E, the big boys, the beautiful Aston Martin of Harder Racing of Riberas and Kelly is leading, followed by Foster Reed, the O'Donnell Waite car, and Christina West and Brendan Leach, and then Gilbertson McIntyre. So interesting that Gilbertson McIntyre car is 5th in the class, but they're still circulating. So that's been one of the main things that they've been trying to do. They've obviously got a ton of pace in that car.
Yeah.
But they've needed reliability.
The biggest one for the team this weekend would be to finish the race.
Yeah.
I mean, they obviously would like to do well in the race.
Sure.
But to get a finish under their belt would give their team so much confidence.
Yeah, yeah. Because it must be frustrating where you keep looking at the car and going, I know you're a lovely car, but but
Yeah.
So we really feel for them and hope they are successful.
Yeah.
But also the thing is, as we've said, Simon's in the car, and Simon's the kind of the amateur or the not so experienced driver.
I suppose when you put it up against Johnny Mack, it's never done.
Yeah. So I think they should be happy with their position. And it's early days. So so let's we'll follow them with interest, obviously.
I think being an hour down, it might be time for me to go and do some more work to make sure this prize giving kicks off tonight.
Okay, is there a prize for the best commentary? No, doesn't look like it.
If someone in the crowd feels like throwing in a prize, I'm sure I can scratch something up.
A pizza from Italy from Lucy, maybe.
Potentially.
Hey, thanks.
I don't know who would give that award to, though.
No. Okay, we're going to go down to the pits, and Adam's got someone bailed up there. So over to you, Adam.
I'm here with Aaron Slight, who's driving the bright green Aston Martin. How's your day going?
Oh, pretty good actually. I haven't driven it all yet. No, Dan's done a really good job, and at the start there, keeping up with the GT3 cars. So the lap time's going really, really well. So yeah, a lot of pressure actually.
So obviously you've come from a massive career in motorbikes. What made you decide to come and do this type of racing?
I've had a little bit of car racing. I did the 2002 British touring cars. So probably only know about 20 race meetings in my life in a car. But the car's great. You get in with with the pedal shift, ABS, traction control. It's all sweet. So it's a little bit easier than the old days. Yeah.
So what was it that made you decide particularly to come to the New Zealand endurance scene?
My teammate broke his collarbone. I got the call. I want to come and drive my car. So yeah, I went and got my licence, and now I'm here. So I've always loved driving the cars, and I've known the team owner and GB Motorsports for a long time. So when the opportunity came, I didn't know what to do with the car when you had a broken collarbone. The call came and I jumped in.
And so the transition, obviously you've been doing 20 races. How's the transition from bikes to cars and working through some of the slower traffic, especially?
Well, the cars are a lot different. The lines you use, it looks like a different track when you're driving it. It's a lot different. And with a car, you can't sort of get the car to do anything else than the car will do. On a bike, you can move your weight around. So once you're strapped in, you've got to make the setup changes, otherwise the car won't go around the track. So yeah, that's the biggest thing, is just to not overdrive the car, not use up the tyres, and just take it a bit easier.
And so with the GT4 car, obviously you approach the race a lot differently. It's looking for that class win, and you've obviously got Dan in the car, and there's a bit of learning with that as well, yeah?
Yeah, well, Dan only arrived this morning, so I set the car up for him. So there was no learning yet. But yeah, it's very different, and what we're trying to do in the GT4, though, we're just trying to get closer to the front guys. It's all right to sit back in their class, but we're just trying to improve the car little by little and get closer to the front guys.
And so what's your long-term plan? Is it just a sort of fun hobby thing at the moment and going to the Nationals? Or?
Just a hobby thing at the moment. I'm just filling in and see where it takes us really, but really like helping out these guys. Great team and having a lot of fun.
Well, we'll go back to Victor. I hear there's a yellow flag, so we'll see what's happening back out there with Victor Cattermole in the commentary booth.
Yeah, hi, thanks Adam. Yeah, it looks like have we got yellow flag somewhere? We've got the little Peugeot. We were just about to go live to him as well. So we give him a call. I wonder if he's got his phone on him.
I'll tell you what, it's probably the first time I've seen that car parked up there, Victor. It's normally one of the most reliable cars out there. So
yeah. Look, he's got his... Oh no, we're getting the engage signal.
Yeah, he's under the hood there.
I can see he's got his phone in his hand though.
But no, that's a bit of bad luck for those
guys.
It is a
lot of bad luck. So
it's probably done the most laps around this track out of any of the endurance cars put together. It's been around a long time.
It sure has. He'll be frustrated, and it's probably your best time not to ring him actually, so because he might.
I would say he's got his head under there. But,
yeah, he's not looking happy, is he? No. I think wisdom tells me we won't give him a ring.
No, we see a few drivers starting to get ready for a change. So
yeah, so this is interesting. Well,
it's getting around the top of the hour, so it's about time some of these cars came in for a bit of a check. You see the 47 car there, the White Horse Motors RX-8 heading back out.
Yeah, well they can't change quite yet. Each driver must do at least 70 minutes. So we've got 1 hour 51 to go. So they've got a couple of minutes before they can actually do a driver change. So Alex Riberas we saw getting ready there, but there'll need to be another lap or possibly two in the Aston Martin before they can do a change. Foster Rika, he's broken the 1 minute in race. He's done a 59.7, so the heat is on, and they're only 10 seconds off the leader.
Pulled that back. It was 24 seconds early on in the race, and then it came down to 18, and now, as you say, just on the 10-second, as we see him in lap traffic there.
Yeah, there's a bit of traffic. He had obviously some problems getting past the Camaro.
He had lots of troubles getting past it.
Yeah, it was... the flag marshal probably needed a wee bit of a chat too. It's hard for them, I know, to keep track of who is is where, but
That went on for quite a while.
it went on for quite a while. Yeah,
It cost them quite a bit of time.
it sure did,
The end of
which is a pity. So I've got obviously Paul with me in the commentary now, and Paul's one of the main commentators for the Levels Raceway here where we are in South Canterbury, beautiful part of New Zealand. If you're listening in or watching in from anywhere in the world and planning your trip to New Zealand, South Island's the place to go. We've got wonderful motorsport like this.
I just had Mark Pitch up in the commentary box with me upstairs, and of course
Who's he?
Yeah, Mark Pitch, you might have heard of him perhaps around the traps, but he's just shifted down to Cromwell there from the North Island, and he's pretty much relocating everything down central. He's in the best part of the world down there.
Still an Aucklander though, isn't he?
He's
You can shift down there.
he's living down there now. He's just built a new house, but no, he's loving it down here in the South Island.
Right.
And as you can see from the pictures in the background there, she's not a bad place to be
Not a
down
bad
here
spot.
in the South Island.
Drove down yesterday, and the mountains, the Southern Alps, were just covered in snow, and it was relatively clear day. It was just beautiful.
It's been a bit cold the last couple of mornings.
It was cold. It was cold this morning. I knew it was cold because my nipples were quite hard and fun to play with. Yeah.
Did someone not doing the ironing in your place? Couple of peg marks in the front of the shirt.
It was.
Very good.
So there we go. We're back to the racing, the heart of racing. The beautiful Aston Martin just comes round for lap. This will be lap 69 completed. And
doing a good job out in
he's
front.
He's doing
there.
a good job.
And I just watching this thing on the brakes. It's just so late on the brakes, and it doesn't move around at all under braking. It
just looks so stable, doesn't it?
Apart from the first lap bit of a clash, things are looking pretty good.
And unfortunately, it looked like Neil was possibly in the wrong.
Yeah, it's one of those ones. It's a bit hard to tell, you know.
Yeah, from our view, it looked like he pulled left to try and take the corner.
Alex there getting ready to jump in the car, so they can't be far off their first pit stop. And of course, the harder racing, they're doing good for New Zealand and the hospitals and stuff. So
yeah, fantastic. So we've had the website up on the screen now and then, so we'll arrange that again so that you can sign up and follow the Harder Racing team. You'll find them also on Facebook, and you can also give through to the charity through their website, help support the Starship Foundation.
That's right, there's Hayden Patton there. He's been in twice into the pits.
Yeah, so what was going on there?
Had a front puncher, a slow right front puncher. It was the first time they come in, and then the second time they just had a look under the hood. I think maybe there might have been a slight heating issue there, or maybe you could hear something under there, but it wasn't in for too long, and then underway again, which is good.
So it's cost them a wee bit because they've dropped them back in their class mostly.
Yeah, they were running 9th overall, and that dropped them down to about 17th coming in for that second pit stop. So
Yep. They're back up into 16th now, but still got a bit of work to do.
That's right. But, nonetheless, a great field of cars here. This car on the screen, the Foster Reed car, was getting held up for a long time, but sitting about 18 seconds, I think it was 10 seconds last time.
Well, I can tell you now it's 5 seconds.
5 seconds.
So things are about to get interesting because this could be, we could see the lead change here in the pit stops because obviously Alex is getting ready. This is Neil, I think, in the car.
Yep.
Actually, I'm sure it's Neil in the car.
It is Neil in the car, yes.
And so and we've got Hayden Patton into the pits again.
I'm guessing this might be for a driver change.
This should be for a driver change. And Alex is ready to jump into the Aston Martin. So it's going to be who moves first and who does it the quickest.
That's right. It all comes down to that. And we've seen in the 1 hour race, Jordan Mickles come into the 29-minute pit stop, and his rival was 1:18. So where do you make 40 seconds up? So you can make a lot of time up in the pits.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, so Neil's got the Aston Martin in his sights. Darren's staying out there. Got a bit of lap traffic.
Yeah, just a matter of time, as you say. They'll come in, they have to fill it up full of gas again. Put a new set of boots on it, and that'll be it. Send it back out.
Yeah, well, at Ruapuna they had to do a splash with about 4 laps to go. I think 5 laps to go. So I imagine that it'll be much the same here. We haven't had any safety cars, so there's no opportunity to save any fuel.
No, she's been foot down the whole time.
Yeah, and it's not like they're not doing reasonably hot pace. It's pushing hard. He's picked up a bit of dust, bit of slow traffic.
How's that for a shot? The Aston Martin and a Toyota FX GT. It's not often you see two of those on a racetrack at the same time together.
You see it a bit in Christchurch down at Miraval.
Oh, right.
The car park there. Yeah, the FX GT is just someone that's got a bit lost.
Yeah. Oh, granny.
Oh, granny. Right. Yeah, FX GT's getting in the way. Cars going either side of it. That's a bit of a thrill.
I'll tell you what, it's been pretty good though. There's been a few close ones. You know, 3 abreast down the back straight, 4 abreast just about at times. And we've seen Gilbert's in there have a real close one there when he was having that row with Foster. But nonetheless, pretty clean driving throughout.
It's been great driving. So there's our race leader counting down when he's going to pit. Alex is ready. The gap is down to 4.6 seconds, so the team will be watching that. Yeah.
So we'll see what happens this time as he comes into the hairpin. He'll be high on the outside and diver down to the inside there. And then tuck in through this left-hander nice. There's a beautiful corner, this one. Clint carry the speed down the back straight, and he's going to do another lap as he comes down through the kink. And back across the front straight to reel off another lap. Down into Par and Co there.
Let's see what the gap is. 4.7, so he's stretched it out 1/100th.
Yeah, it's still not much in it.
It's still not much in it. It can be easily used up in this pit stop.
So there he is going down the back straight. I think yesterday I heard that the Aston Martin was clocking 217 kilometres an hour down the front straight. It's not the back straight, it's the front straight.
That's pretty quick, isn't it?
No, it's a pretty quick car. And it seems to stop pretty quick as well. Pretty much like hitting a brick wall when it decides to stop.
Yeah, the brakes on it are huge, and the calipers, there's nothing to them. Have you had a look at it?
No, they're about the same. Yeah.
There's no. They've got gaps instead of metal, like we have on mine. They're just the tiniest caliper you can obviously get, but they're fit for purpose.
Doing the trick. As we see Simon Gilbertson's team down in the pit lane getting ready to service that car. Johnny Mack at the ready.
Right. 5.2. So Darren's done a better job, probably with traffic, to be honest. And pushed that gap out fractionally more. They shows you how quickly the race can move around. They had 24 seconds at one point and we're growing on that. And now we're down to 5.2 seconds. So, huge credit to Neil Foster. He's driven, incredibly well as well.
And we should see Johnny go quicker than that. In fact, all the main pro drivers, you could say, we're going to see them fly. We're going to see Johnny Mack jump in the Camaro shortly. He's going to be a second and a half lap quicker than what Gilbertson was.
Yeah.
And Riberas is obviously going to have a little bit more up his sleeve than what Kelly probably has. If you say
right, we've got the Camaro into the pits.
Right, we should have the clock on that and see how long it takes.
Simon's dragging himself out.
Yep. Be hard work in there.
It's such a big car, but it's so hard to get in and out of, isn't it?
That's right. It's pretty much a Formula 1 style cockpit inside.
Yeah.
See the big wheels going on there. Another new set of Pirellis. Tear off and just about ready to get back in. Branded Beer, that's Johnny Mack's company.
Ah, that's Johnny's company, okay.
That's Johnny's company. The Lynx Winery you see on the car is Simon Gilbertson's company.
Right.
So from what I hear, Simon Gilbertson tells me they make 300 million litres of wine a year. So that's a few bottles.
It's a few bottles, isn't it? Then we've got Christina's jumping out of the car. She's into the pits as well, so Brendan will be jumping in. And Brendan's pretty capable sort of driver as well, isn't
he? Yeah, and there's plenty of time left in the race for anybody to catch up to anybody. So, we'll see, even though we're probably the first two cars are a lap above anybody else, we're only a safety car away.
Yeah, well, that gap's now down to 3.8 because Neil's done a blinder. He's done a 1 minute 0.7 compared with the 1:02 that that Darren had done. Now Darren's responded with a 1 minute 0.5. So at the front of this field, it's we're 1 hour 20 into the race and it's still a battle, right? 3.9 seconds between first and second.
It's going to be like this until the end.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yep.
Close finish, obviously down there in Tiratonga. They got it by half a second.
Yep.
And not too sure of the gap at Ruapuna, but it's been pretty close stuff. A bit of damage there to the front right of the car. It's like there's been a wee bit of something going on there. That's the Moore car.
The Moore car coming in or going out. I think they're pitted back further, yes, so they're heading out. So that'll be Matt in the car. Yep, going past us now.
So here we go, the race leader down into the Parenco S's.
Another lap. How much fuel they got in this thing?
That's right. They might be trying to get to the hour and a half
If
mark.
they get to an hour and a half, it's going to be interesting, isn't it?
Certainly will be. So we're an hour 20 in now. And you see it head down the back straight there. It sounds different, doesn't it?
Oh,
It's got zone.
yes, it's just something else. And they got to, I can tell you, I think they pitted at 1 hour 24 at Ruapuna. So I would say there's still another 2 laps in this car.
Yeah, so harder racing obviously in America. They've got a couple of these cars around the world. And this is the one here that Alex and Darren are running. Done a lot of work over in America, I think this car has been.
Right.
Not 100% sure on that, but however, the whole organisation's all about raising funds for those in need.
Yeah.
And it's owned by an American who owns the car.
Yep. Gabe, who's in Auckland currently.
Yep.
So we're thankful to Gabe for all he's doing. He's quite a humble guy. So but we appreciate so much what he's contributing to motorsport and to our society as well.
Should be down here, Gabe. Should be down here.
It'd be lovely to see him. Come down, have a cup of tea.
Yes.
You always got the kettle on.
Right.
It's the way we operate down here,
That's
isn't
right,
it?
yeah. All the fridge.
Throw a
The
scone
beer fridge.
together.
Yeah.
This is a beer fridge, yep. We'll show him some quality South Island beer.
That's right.
Yep.
And some beautiful sights too as we see him come through that left-handed sweeper. Is he going to come in this time? No, he's going to do another one.
Yep. Well, it's going to be a test of who's got the most fuel.
Well, that'll be the thing. You don't want to cut a lap short, do you, and end up...
No, well, Christina learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
So, these guys, as much as they're in the rookie class, they're also experienced enough to know, and he'll be looking for, especially at John Jones.
Yeah.
He'll go, okay, I've got a week off there. It's time to come in.
Yep. I was talking with Mark Peach before, had him upstairs in the commentary box, and he was saying that Alex Riberas, he's a gold-rated FIA driver, so there's not many gold-rated FIA drivers around. He's done a lot of Blair Plunk GT stuff in Asia and over there as well, in America, so he's a very, very highly rated GT3 race driver, Alex Riberas, and only 26 years old.
And here he is in Timaru.
That's right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
And from what I understand, he's enjoying his racing out here.
He's loving it.
More than anywhere else in the world. He said just there's not that pressure and hype, and as we see the second Aston Martin come in,
or what we call the slow one.
The slow one, that'll be Daniel Gaunt getting out of the car.
Yep, and Aaron will be in.
Aaron will be in. I'll try and get Daniel here to have a yarn with you shortly. He was going to come up and say hi to us upstairs.
Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, we wanted to get rid of that board. Yep. You don't want that in your grill when you're going out.
But it's the first time Dan's been here for a couple of years.
Right. So what's his background?
TRS. He's a double TRS champion, Daniel Gaunt.
Right, there you go.
A New Zealand Grand Prix winner.
Yep.
Done lots of stuff. He's done a bit of V8 supercars stuff. Done a season in V8 supercars. So he's been around the traps. And at the moment, I think he's currently running one of the go-kart centres up there in Auckland.
Okay, fantastic.
So good to see Dan back.
Right, well, at the top of the board, though, they've got that lead. Darren's got that lead out to 7.4 seconds now. So so that's been backwards and forwards a bit, isn't it? It's probably mostly traffic.
Yeah, it'll fluctuate, a couple of seconds either way, depending on the traffic, but you sort of get a medium of where they were at.
Yep. So by my calculations, though, they must be close to coming in, because we're 1 hour 25 into the race.
Well, just look at that last lap that Darren Kelly's done at 59.5, so he's been told to put the hammer down. You're coming in. We want a decent, in lap, and as I say, you can make up all that time in the world just in the pits.
Yeah, well, there's 2 seconds on and now we're out to 9.7 seconds basically. So yeah, Darren's been given the wake-up call. He's been told, look, you need to speed it up a bit, otherwise you're not going to get your
Here we go. They're getting ready
your
now.
chocolate fish when you get in here. Here he comes into the pits. Let's see if we can get down to the pit lane to watch this pit stop. It'd be good to have the clock on it, but not quite that technical yet. The guys are ready to go. There's Alex Riberas ready to jump into the car.
Righto, so we'll just have a countdown there. So he stopped on 25. We'll see how this should be a pretty slick pit stop, I'd imagine. Then the photographer there in the way, Ewan Cameron, and just about got bowled over in the process. One of the long-time motorsport photographers there, Ewan Cameron. So
they're obviously not too worried about the damage on the car. It's just
no.
a bit of aesthetic stuff.
It's hanging still. You'll see they'll give the wheels a wee flick every now and again just to keep the heat going from the pads.
So they don't
starting
seize up.
Starting to smoke a bit now. And just keep an eye on that clock.
He's got fuel going in. Still fuel going in.
Yes,
we'll wait for it to spit back up the breather hose. They'll be putting as much in there. There we go.
Yeah, that's about
that's it. Oh. Go.
So 37, so 23. It's about a 48-second stop.
Right, okay.
So that's not too bad.
Doesn't look like too many issues. There's a bit of a moment there, but they won't be too concerned. The concern would be that Audi's got obviously a bit more fuel in it because he's still out there.
They're obviously both one stopping though, so it shouldn't matter a hell of a lot.
I don't know because we've still got 1 hour 33 to go, and as I said in Ruapuna, they had to do a splash and dash. So if Neil Foster gets to 1 hour 30 or more, then it's going to be very interesting, to say the least. So I'd guess that he possibly will come in again. If he comes in this lap, then my guess is they're both going to have to splash and dash.
We've got the old 5-nut rims going on.
Oh, it's like working on the Merc, mate.
Yeah, it's not often you see that happening, is it?
There's so many of these cars have got the single lock. Right, no, he's going again. So this Audi's been better on fuel.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where they do feed back in, and we'll keep an eye on that split time there. That's the Frew Barrett car, number 81. They used to run the RX-8 there, and they've stepped up to the Falcon this last couple of seasons. So Johnny Reid behind the, sorry, not yet behind the wheel.
It's Neil. He's driven incredibly well.
He's been driving good.
Yep. So Alex will have him in his sights, so he won't be that far behind him. It shows as 1 lap, but he'll be. He was 48 seconds in the stop, and they're doing 1 minute laps, so he'll be able to see him.
That's right.
And he'll be a bit frustrated because he's still out there. So he's.
It was a bit of a, like at Ruapuna a couple of weeks ago. It's not often you see these Audis having many mechanical issues.
No. Well, you can see the Heart of Racing car in the background there. He's not coming in.
No, he's sitting out for another one.
Well, I reckon with another one, they're going to be able to get home with 1 stop. So, Alex is going to have to conserve some fuel somewhere. Because if he has to put more fuel in, I think they're at risk of coming second. Which is a nice way of saying losing.
Yeah, win it or lose it.
Yep.
Yes, that's correct.
So it's all down to fuel in this pit stop. Now, having said that, Johnny's style is likely to be a bit more aggressive. So, if in theory, if Alex goes hard now and gets enough of a lead, he'll force Johnny to push. And if Johnny has to push, then he's going to use more fuel.
And what times did Johnny do this morning? He did a 57.4 in qualifying.
Some ridiculous number.
So if he can get close enough to that, say mid 58s and 59s perhaps, I mean, it's going to close it up pretty good.
Yeah, well, we're 18 seconds away from the halfway mark, and he's still on that lap. So
here's the dippy car in.
The Audi is definitely on a one-stop strategy. It comes down to, can Alex conserve enough fuel to get home without having to do a splash and dash, or can he put enough pressure on Johnny Reid to force him to push so hard that he needs a splash and dash as well. Scott O'Donnell and Andrew Waite there sitting in second. They'll be quite happy. I don't think they've stopped yet. No, they can't have stopped yet.
So quite a long pit stop here for the Dippy crew. Taken a long time to get the drivers swapped over.
Yep, so they're down in 8th place.
82 laps complete, so they're 5 behind the leaders. And away they go.
Oh, a couple of black marks on the pit lane.
Put them down for next year.
Okay, clearly Johnny Mack is in the car, and I say that because he's just put up a 58.8.
Yep, he's going to be pushing. He's got a lot of making up to do. And
he's got a lot of making up to do.
If anyone's going to do it, it's going to be
It's the story of my life, actually. A lot of making up to do.
Yeah, you and me both, mate. Yeah, that's the thing with motor racing. There's always a bit of making up to do.
Yeah. Now, poor old, we see a glimpse of the Peugeot parked up out there. That means that poor old Tim Stanton sitting in the box out there watching the race for the next hour and a half potentially. So they're not going to pull that car in. So that's day over, which is really disappointing for them because they were, I think, second in class and 5th overall.
Right.
So really, really frustrating that they couldn't get that car back.
So Scott O'Donnell in.
Scott O'Donnell's in.
And Andrew Waite will jump in. So he's another driver that should go quicker than, he should be a bit quicker than Scott, I'd imagine.
Just
some of these guys take a bit of getting out, don't they?
A bit quicker getting in and out, I think, or just driving.
Get the crowbar out. Pluck them out of the seat.
They need a wee bit of gel on the bars, do you think?
Yeah.
You got any in your bag?
I don't know. I guess you've got some good lube tucked away somewhere.
I didn't bring any with me, no.
But nonetheless, Andrew Waite back and spun the wheels before she hit the deck. Wonder if they've seen that. That might be a penalty. Maybe shouldn't have said anything, but the wheels definitely turning before she. Just getting the wheel up on the ripple
Johnny
strip.
Reid. Now, not to be outdone, Brendan Leach has done a 59.7.
Yeah, I mean, it's that point of the race now. They have to push if they want to make it down towards the end there. Just have a look at this replay, is it? No?
Yep, here's the replay.
No replay.
No replays, no. Right, we're back on to the... Okay, so this is your first and second place.
Yep. And that's as they sit on the track.
That's actually as they sit on the track. Now, what Alex needs to do is he really needs to keep the heat on Johnny. He either needs him to make a mistake or he needs him to push so hard that his fuel consumption goes up to level the playing field.
Yeah.
Because from this position, if Alex has to do a splash and dash, that's good night nurse. So he's going to need to really keep the heat on him.
So we've got the car coming in now, have we?
Yep, we have.
So he hasn't made his pit stop. So he's he was a lap ahead pretty much.
Yeah, so right, stands to be
directed. Which is going to give him about a minute in the pits, which is about what we said. So it's going to be pretty close when they come back out.
So you got your timer on this, your magical timer.
Right.
There we go.
I'm doing 50. I'm doing it on the reverse countdown.
The reverse countdown and a bit of math.
Yeah. So looks to be a bit more of a slicker driver change anyway.
Yep. So Neil's out of the car. He's done well. I mean, he's driven an hour and 35. So credit to that team actually, because it's very easy to go. I will do the the guy that's paying the bill and is the amateur driver.
Yeah.
We'll do him the minimum number of laps, and then we'll put the pro in because he's going to be faster than that. But these guys have said no, we're both in it together.
They're or thereabouts, the two of them. So
yep, he's just making sure he's
okay.
He's
He's got a wee issue there. We'll just see he's underway.
He's
so
underway.
It's 59.14. It's 44 seconds. So 4 seconds quicker.
Right.
And for a standing standing on the spot, 4 seconds faster.
Yeah. So, but
you see him around the corner a little bit further now, and here comes Johnny down the track. So it's actually been. Well, we'll have to give it a lap or two to catch up, but I think it's a big gain from the Aston Martin.
Yeah, I think it's a huge gain by the look of that. So maybe they've got enough in it to do a splash and dash. So the risk of Neil running a longer was that he was actually potentially starting to lose bits, as if he was getting fuel surge or anything like that.
That's right.
That strategy can play against you as well.
Quite often, what you'll find too, Victor, is when the fuel load goes down, some of these cars can get tricky to drive.
Right.
So as the load comes off the rear axle, they can become a bit twitchy in the rear. So once they've got a full tank of juice back in them, they'll squat them back down and they'll balance up quite nice. So when the fuel load is at its lightest, that's when things are at their most unsettled.
Yep. Okay.
Johnny Mack at 58.6.
58.6. So
he's trying hard.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's just more than trying hard. I'll tell you that the lap record
58.626
is a 58.626, and he's done a 58.681.
Yeah, so he's 4/10 off the lap record.
Yeah, but to be fair, he's got a full tank of fuel.
Yeah, that's right. And it'll be interesting to see how Johnny Reid goes out there. He did a 57.4 this morning in qualifying, which is
just lightning fast.
It's over a second under the lap record, so we may see that fall here today. The overall lap record for the 3-hour endurance race is 164 laps. So if we don't have a yellow, that may come under pressure as well.
Yep.
So things are looking good.
It's looking good.
Right, I'm going to disappear again, Victor Catamol. We'll come back and see you again a little bit later on.
Sounds good. Okay.
No worries. And,
thanks for coming.
Keep up the good work wherever you are around the world. Hope you're enjoying the coverage. And we'll see you again later.
Thanks, Paul. Okay, so there we go. The number one car out on track. They're currently running second, and that pit stop has cost them a bit. 21 seconds behind, so Harder Racing got a 21 second lead. Now we know that if they have to do a splash and dash, there's probably 35 seconds by my calculations on a splash and dash through the pits, depending on how much fuel they have to put in. So Alex is going to have to push. He's going to have to keep pushing hard. He's just done a 58.8, so he's listening to the commentary. He'll have it on his wireless on the stereo in the Aston Martin, because he knows that that's where he gets the best advice. And he needs to push and build up a decent lead in case they have to put some fuel in that car. They'll be very well aware that the Audi now is on a one-stop, because Neil Foster drove for 1 hour and 35 out of the 3-hour race. So we would think that if the Foster Reid car nurses at home, they shouldn't have to stop again. But if Johnny pushes too hard, then they could run the risk of using too much fuel and have to stop. So it's going to be interesting, this last half hour endurance racing, 3-hour endurance race. The last half hour can be the telling tale. You can see there. See, that gentleman there is the shape of a race car owner, compared with a race car driver. They take a bit more difficulty to get out of the car than race car drivers, who are usually underfed, thin little people. Something. Okay. Right, there's the Brendan Leach. He's in third place. So Alex has got some work to do. He needs to get past him. They really need to give him the blue flag to let Alex have a fair run. Brendan will be very aware that Alex is behind him and the lead car, so I don't imagine that Brendan's going to be any problem. Sensible driver. Yeah, difficulty there when you've got such a fast tail car as well to pass. So it's hard for Brendan to keep his flow and keep out of the way. Oh, that looks... No, he's given him space. Man, it looked tight going into there though. You just need a little bit of understeer and that could have got ugly. But now he's away. So that's effectively one lap down. So, but they'll be... Brendan and Christina should be happy with that. They're in a good, strong position. They just need to consistently drive that thing home, and they'll do very nicely. Thank you very much. So with these change of drivers now, we've got Alex in the car, Brendan in the car, Johnny Mack in the car, Johnny Reid in the car. So we're seeing the lap times, a good second or 2 seconds quicker than we saw in the first half of the race. So so it's looking very, very interesting at the top of the field. And as we go further down the field, I'll bring you up to speed. Fuel going into the 65 car. So they've gone a fair way into the race. That's the SQ car. 3 laps down from... Where are they? 3 laps down from the car in front. Sorry, we've got guys under the car. That's never a good sign. Rescue car back out on the track. Here's our race leader, Heart of Racing, Aston Martin P3, the Dale ITM sponsored. Brendan Leach, Christina West. Heart of Racing coming up with the hairpin. We've got the C-Class car there, the White Horse Motors car. Past them easily enough. Here they come, across the line. That's lap 99 done. Scotty O'Donnell, that's Andrew Waite in the car now. He'll be bringing it home. They're sitting in 4th place, to be very happy with that. Scotty's never driven the car before, apart from yesterday and some practice. Andrew's obviously done a lot of laps. He was a professional down at Highlands Motorsport Park. So he's quite an experienced driver. Ooh, is that a bit of smoke coming out of the 81 car? Or is it just dust from the track? It's the Barrett Frew car. It's okay there. There's quite a bit of dust around him because of the work that's been done on the track. There's a lot of new dirt that's been piled up beside the track. It looks okay now. got a bit of traffic to contend with. There's a bit of dust and carry on as we get busy. Oh, we've got car coming into the pits. They've got tyre rubbing. They've collected something. It's car 37. That's the McDermott car. They were in 14th place. He's just got a puncher, I think. It's obviously picked up something somewhere, or it's just the tyre, the front right, that this track being an anti-clockwise track does all the work, so there's a chance that tyre's just said, I've had enough of this, carry on, and I'm giving up. So it's looking hot, so they'll be changing that. I think it's only a puncture. I would have thought they'd be whipping that off. Oh, no, that looks a bit more wobbly than you'd normally like. Yeah, he's going to have to retire with wobbly wheel. That's a technical term for it. It's a bit buggered. Yeah, definitely broken something. So that's day over for them, I would say. They are McDermott, they're 91. Well, depending on what it is, the guys will be looking at the clock going, we've got an hour and a quarter to go. We don't want to give up too soon. We're going to cross down to the pits. Adam's down there. Adam, what's going on?
We're just here with Darren Kelly, Heart of Racing. Obviously a pretty eventful start to the race. I saw you at the beginning of the weekend putting a bit of a new wrap on the front of the car, and you're going to have to do it again.
Yeah, it was a bit of a wild start. I think what happened was, as we came into turn one, Neil came in and hit his braking mark and seemed to get hit up the back by the Camaro, which then kicked the back of his car around and sort of clipped the front of my front right of mine and went flying off in front of us. So lucky it wasn't any worse, but managed to all get around the corner and he got back on the track and continued on.
So is there any aero issue with that little damage?
No, I don't think so. Like, car felt really good on track. We've been playing with the setup all weekend, trying to get a good balance between this end of the track and the new seal down this end of the track. So I think we've got a good race car. Felt consistent throughout the whole race, and the main thing is just getting around the traffic. There's a lot of cars out there, and it's a very, very narrow track through from turn 4 all the way back around to the start-finish straight. So it's really just about managing your traffic and trying to get around nice and clean.
So, I mean, it was a pretty good start. You must be pretty happy with the way it went for you.
Yeah, it felt good. I'm actually a bit sore. This track's pretty intensive. There's a lot of left, right, so it's definitely a body workout, and we ran a bit longer than we normally would, just to try to, hopefully we can do it one stop, and get to the finish. So we tried to run as long as I could, and we'll see if we can make it happen.
Did you notice the tyres start to degrade a little bit at the end of that stint?
Yeah, they definitely, like when you go out to start with, they're definitely at their peak, and it's just, you got to play it smart as well. Like, you got to try to make them last and stay consistent the whole time. There's no point overheating them at the first half and then having to battle the car for the rest of it. So I think it was managed pretty well, and gave it to Alex in first, so hopefully he can bring it home in there as well.
So how are you feeling in terms of your experience of the whole, not only just the car, but the scene and being involved in endurance racing here in the South Island?
It's been an amazing experience, a lot of fun. Everyone around here is like a big family. It's just like we're off drifting where I've come from, and everyone's a big family, gets together, has a good laugh after the races. So that's a cool environment to be in. A lot of motorsport around the world is not like that, so it's been cool to show Alex that side of New Zealand and sort of give him a good experience for what motorsport is like down here as well.
So you're showing him the sights aside from the tracks?
Yeah, we try to get out of bed, and he's a big fan of the South Island, so we're going to try to spend a little bit of time down here afterwards and show him around a little bit afterwards, and we can sort of relax and get out a little bit.
Great, all right, well we'll get back to Victor Cattermole up there in the commentary box and have a look at what's happening out on track.
Yeah, thanks Adam. It's actually all happening on track. We've just seen, that was a pass for position, so Johnny Max up into 3rd place. Taking over from Andrew Waite, who looked like he decided that it wasn't worth the battle, but I'm not sure if he understood that how important that position was. But the Camaro's taken the position. Oh, it's looking busy there. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. That slowed him down a bit, hasn't it? The TCR car, that's... and now Andrew's saying, okay, I'm going to stick at you. We'll see how good you go with me up your tail. Okay, so that gave him a chance. So someone's been on the comms to Andrew and said, hey, you don't let Johnny go that easily. You need to get that position back. So it's race on. Johnny's been on a mission though. I mean, he's done a 58.6. Johnny Reid is Johnny Mack, that is 58.6. Johnny Reid's done a 58.7, and Alex Rivera's 58.8. So the pace is pretty hot. We're down into lap record time. So we're going to go back down to Adam. Adam, who you got down there?
So we're here with Neil Foster in the number 1 Audi. I mean, a little bit of drama at the beginning of the race, yeah?
Yeah, the start was all going well, and then the Camaro tapped me up the rear and turned me around, and I shot through the end of the straight and into the grass, doing loops. So managed to get back on and chase the leaders back again, which was hard work, to be honest, but we got there.
So a little bit of damage on the rear of the car. Is that causing any effect?
Didn't seem to. The tyres were a bit off to start with, obviously, for going through the grass, but the car came right reasonably quick and I pushed on.
So the end of your stint, you really closed down on the lead car, and but obviously it was time to come in then.
Yeah, probably with about 10 minutes to go, the car was feeling really good and I was pushing quite hard, but probably the last 10 laps I had a few radio communication issues and I couldn't understand them. And that cost a lot of time, I think, and yeah, it would have been nice to catch the Aston, but I didn't quite make it. But very lucky to make it into the pits. We ran out of fuel on the hairpin. Chopped it into second gear coming out of the hairpin and it died. And I coasted all the way into the pits, so very, very lucky to make it in.
So that was a very close call. That we wouldn't have even noticed unless you told us that. But so from here, will you be able to one stop, or will you need to do a splash and dash?
We're pretty sure Johnny's just saving a little bit of fuel, and we're pretty sure we'll make it one stop.
Great. Well, any predictions for the weather as well?
The wind seems to be coming from the right direction, so hopefully there's no rain.
Yeah, we hope so too, because we don't like getting wet. All right, well, that's Neil Foster's take on his first stint of the race, so we'll go back upstairs to the commentary team and take a look back on track.
Thanks, Adam. Wow, that's interesting, isn't it? So he ran out of fuel at the hairpin and coasted into the pits, so they were pretty fine on fuel, but definitely looking like one stop. So, but Johnny Reid's still going to have to conserve fuel. If he gets into any tussles and pushes too hard, he runs that risk of using too much and then having to conserve. Alex probably, by my calculations, is going to need a safety car. He needs to really conserve fuel. Probably more fuel than maybe even a safety car is going to provide him with. It's going to be interesting to see, or else he needs a massive gap, and at the moment he's only 17.9 seconds. So it's looking interesting. We're coming up to 2/3 of the way through the race, 2 hours just about done, 1 hour to go, and yeah, it's anyone's game here, anyone's game. We've got, let me just see, we've still got 23 cars on track, so just the little Peugeot out, which is unusual because it's normally one of the most reliable cars here. So yeah, so that's a really disappointing for those guys. They seriously fun racing, but they do take it seriously, but they also have a heap of fun, and they're a real put a smile on everyone's face in the pit. So they're real valuable team to the endurance racing. So pretty to see them out. We're looking at the Barrymore Tim Mackesy car. That's looking like that's in the shed, so that's not looking great for them. So that would bring us down to 22 cars on track. And Simon Gilbertson and Johnny Mack would have to be feeling a whole lot happier.
Barry Moore, who's had a bit of a problem with the TCR. What happened?
Started smoking profusely, so we think it's done a turbo, unfortunately. Oil pressure and everything else seems perfect, but smoke's coming out of the exhaust, so that's the end of our day. So 2 DNFs in a row.
I mean, you've had a pretty good run up until now, so is it just the heated battle that's causing these issues?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that turbo's been in there for 2 seasons, of course, so maybe it's just one of those things, but maybe it's the pace we're all trying to go. We're all pushing pretty hard, so yep. Cars take a hard life, you know. I mean, the Hyundai's going slow. Pretty much the Audi's the only one that seems to be going top notch, you know.
So up until that point, the car was running good, and how are you running in class?
We were leading the class, so same as Ruapuna. We were leading the class, so I mean, we were pretty happy after Ruapuna, even with a DNF, because we were fastest, so it's always good to be fastest. Oh well, that's racing.
So you'll still have enough points to make it through to the national round?
Yeah, we should still make Highlands, no problem. See if we can, I don't know, get something back in the cabinet, so yeah, we'll see.
Home track for you, right?
Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Okay, so that's disappointing. Another car out, so the attrition has started. This is fairly typical endurance racing. Tough going, tough on cars, and you can see the disappointment on his face down there. But they'll be back. That's motorsport. So back on track, we've got the Dale ITM, Brendan Leach. He's pushing pretty consistently. He's in 5th place. They'll be reasonably happy with that. They're still just 1 lap off the lead. We're going to go back down to Adam. Here's Adam in the pits.
So we're here with the Seriously Fun Racing team, which haven't had a great day. What happened?
Oh, look, we've always had a good day, Adam, but unfortunately the crankshaft position sensor bracket has broken, which also broke in Ruapuna, so it's the second one we put in, and yeah, just very unlucky.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys were running 5th overall, so that's really disappointing. It could have been your best finish of all time, huh?
It could have been, Adam, it could have been, but there's always next year.
So, Timo's, is he stuck out there?
He is stuck out there. He's busy on social media. He's unfortunately, due to further unforeseen circumstances, he's had to cancel today's second tarot session, and he's tucked a bit of flack online that surely if he was a real clairvoyant, he would have been able to sense whatever the sensor was doing. But as you can read here, he did sense that the gearbox had gone because he had just changed gear and had no drive. But because the sensor wasn't where it was supposed to be, sensing, he couldn't make sense of what he was sensing.
Well, that was quite confusing. I hope you guys got that, because I certainly didn't. But so from now, you'll obviously it's only a minor repair, and you'll be there for the final round, right? Or?
Yeah, well, we're not too sure what we're doing for the final. Unfortunately, the scan to pass, there's still a few outstanding debtors, and that's impacted on our race budget for the Nationals. Yeah, and it looks like today, because we've parked so well, we'll be coming in at the end of the race. So, yeah, bad parking for good parking.
So for those who don't understand what he's talking about, Liton here is talking about they had every time they got overtaken a fair bit. People had to pay. So there was a scan to pass set up, and it was on the back of the car, and that was their funding program to go racing. And there's a few non-payers, so I think they'll be chasing them up. And I guess it still works while you're parked.
I missed the question, sorry.
I guess it still works while you're parked.
Oh, absolutely. No, we're still counting. Don't you worry about that. And in people's defence, I think a lot of it is waiting for the total to come out following the racing, because it's easier to make one payment than a payment each round. So I understand that.
Right, well, that's the seriously fun, unfortunately, end of the day, but great race team, and we really love talking to these guys because they were having a real good time. And you normally have a food trolley. What's up with that?
Yeah, the lolly trolley's in the pits. That's a bit of an oversight. We should bring it down here, shouldn't we?
Yeah, all right, well, we'll go steal some of those lollies and back to you, Victor.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Yeah, those guys, always a lot of fun, and disappointing to see them parked up. But, you know, one consolation is while they're not moving, they'll get past a lot more, so they should make a bit of money out of that. Okay, we've got the Johnny Reid battle still going on. We've got, who's that? That's Andrew Waite up on their tail. Now, they must be... Oh, I think he's a lap down, is he? Let's have a look here. Okay, a couple of the tail enders. There's the... it'll be Matt Moore coming across the line. I think I saw the Hayden Paddon car come into the pits. Is that out again? The field's starting to spread out quite a bit with a couple of cars pulled off, and it's amazing how much more space that creates. So let's just have a quick rundown of while we're at it. Let's have a look at the class results because we've got 1 hour to go, or just under 1 hour to go. So the Class A, Terence Phillips and Daryl Phillips are leading Class A, and followed by Grant and Matt Moore. They'll be very happy with that. The Class B, Shepherd Fitzgerald car, and then hold on. Class B, where are we here? Shepherd Fitzgerald car, followed by the driver Hood car, and then Paddon McElls. So they've done well to come back up into third. Class C is Davis Mitchell and the Scotty McDermott and Craig McDermott car. Then Class D is the Gaunt Slight car. Okay, we're just going to cross over to Adam by the look of it.
Here we are with Christina Orr West. She's fresh from her stint. And how did the start of the race work for you guys?
Yeah, what an interesting start. I know it was actually quite a fast start, so I thought, geez, these boys are on it today. And then obviously all hell broke loose. Not sure who hit who or what transpired, but I know I came out of there in front of a fast car, so I was happy.
And so your stint from there on was pretty clean, a lot of traffic to get through, but no incidents.
No, I gave Gilbertson a bit of a hurry up every now and then, and fortunately he made a mistake going down the back straight. We were able to get in front of him, so unfortunately we just don't have the legs here against these fast guys. They're just at another level this weekend, so our goal is to finish, mind the traffic, which is pretty shocking out there. They seem to be in groups, which makes it even harder, but all B's enjoying himself out there.
So what do you guys need to do to retain the position that you have in the championship?
We just need to finish. Where we are right now, we're good. We don't want to drop any more spots because depending on if Johnny wins, but Johnny did not finish at Ruapuna, so I think we can only go forward if the Aston has an issue, and we need to finish to keep our second overall.
Fingers crossed.
Yes, finish. I think Deb's behind me with her fingers crossed the whole time.
All right, well, good luck, and hopefully we see you there right at the end. Thanks, Christina, and we'll get back to Victor.
That's Christina Orr West, the fastest woman in motorsport. So, so they're looking good for second overall in the championship, and they're sitting about 5th today. So back to those classes, just to keep everyone informed. Class D, the Gaunt Slight car, followed by Lees and Kelly, and then the Dippy in third, fourth, Rickaby Rhodes, fifth, the Williams Blythe car, and then sixth is the Barrett Frew car. And then Class E, Riberas Kelly and the wonderful Aston Martin Heart of Racing, followed by the Foster Reed, and then Gilbertson, McIntyre, O'Donnell, Waite and Leach all west, and we just saw Christina on the interview there. So that's the classes as we come into the last hour of racing. We've got just over 55 minutes to go, and your leaders are the Heart of Racing Aston Martin. We've got Alex Riberas at the wheel, followed by the Foster Reed car, Johnny Reed out there, and then the Simon Gilbertson and Johnny McIntyre car in third. So they're your top three overall in the race. Bit of activity in the pits. Doubt whether this was a scheduled stop. So some problems with the car. They're taking the time to put some fuel in anyway. It can't be a scheduled stop as far as driver change is concerned. Okay, they've got it. Oh yeah, the front of that tyre looks not so great. I'd say that one's past its use by date. They've got fresh rubber going on. Yeah, you could see the wear on the outside of that tyre there. That one's not going to get used again. Little bit unusual because that's the inside left. So that's the front left does just about the least amount of work around the track here. So he's back out on track. That tyre's looking terrible. Anyway, so yep, no, he's away. Yeah, no, that tyre's had it. Interesting. That looks like it could have been rubbing. So that's just slightly unusual where it's just round off the main part of the tyre. So I've had something rubbing against it. Anyway, there's the lovely Dale ITM sponsored Audi R8, currently in 5th place, but 2nd overall in the South Island Championship. So this is the last race of the 3-race South Island Championship series. So this is very much a deciding race for many of the classes. So it's all to play for on track, not necessarily winning this race, but the overall, which a lot of the teams will be focused on. A bigger picture. Brendan's got the car going quite nicely, thank you very much. Fairly consistent around the 1 minute flat, which is actually, looking at the last laps, is a couple of seconds quicker than our leader, Alex Riberas, but he's 21 seconds up on Johnny Reed. So he may just be on a fuel map that means that they don't have to stop again. I would think that as long as he can maintain that 15 or 20 second lead, he can afford to go a bit slower. And they will have done the maths. So here are the two options for him as I see it. One is that he goes slow enough to win without having to stop, or fast enough to have to stop, put some fuel in, and still win with a fuel stop. So as I say that, he goes and does a 58.7, and then just like that, and boost the lead to a 22.8 seconds. Having said that, Johnny Reed has done a 58.3, which is a new lap record for the endurance race at Timaru. So the lap record's been smashed really, 300th of a second. It's quite a lot, and it's still early days because that car's still got a bunch of fuel in it. We've got 51 minutes to go. So so I wouldn't be surprised to see that come down even further. Will we see a 57? That would be phenomenal. And and that kind of changes everything. It really throws the heat back onto the Heart of Racing, because they they need to just do enough to try and avoid that fuel stop. And every time Johnny throws in one like that, when they know that he's most likely not going to have to stop again, puts the heat back on them. Having said that, now they're back out to 26.5 seconds, as Johnny's obviously got caught up in some traffic because he's done a 1 minute 1. So he's you can see it's just swinging backwards and forwards, backwards and forwards. So the cars you're seeing on screen here, these Audi R8 LMS rather, and the Aston Martin, these are international standard cars. They could be competing anywhere in Europe in the same spec and everything that they are as you're watching them here. So this is really international class racing, and we've got 5 cars in our this class that could be competing anywhere in the world. And then on top of that, we've got these TCR cars that could be competing in TCR class anywhere in the world as well. So world-class racing coming to you from Timaru. As you can see from some of those pictures, it's still overcast here. It's quite cool. My local weather map is saying 12 degrees. Okay, we're going back down to the pits. Adam.
I'm here with Simon Gilbertson, the driver of the Hammer. How was the first stint there?
Oh, look, I had a great time. Made it hard for myself. Hit the over rev early on in the piece and had to turn the car off and turn it on again, which tumbled me down the order, and then had a little bit of unfortunate interaction with the McDermott car and spun, and I thought, how many times today am I going to have to pass that lime green Aston Martin? So I finally got past the second time, and then Darren arrived on my rear end, and I thought, oh well, better send a message there. So I think I did, because they told me to pull over in the end. I take that as a compliment.
So the car's running good?
Oh, the car's mint at the minute, but don't ask me that now. we're at 2 hours something, so ask me in 3 hours, and we'll see whether the smile's still there.
It was good to get a full stint for yourself in the car and really settle in.
Yeah, I had 80 minutes, which is good. Could have pushed on, but chose not to, and here we are.
So will you guys need more fuel, or can you run to the end?
Oh, look, I think we'll probably splash and dash, and we're thinking, should we give the hot shoe some better shoes? But he's just smashed out a 58.4, so I think he's trying to go for the lap record.
Something's happened down there. We'll just go back to the track.
Okay. Thanks, Adam. Yeah, there's been a car off. We've got yellow flags, and we've got safety car, have we? The Camaro is off, and it's in the wall. Oh dear, it is in the wall hard. Try and get down to the camera down there. There's bits of car all over the track. That will be a safety car, there's no doubt about that. Ah, dear, oh dear, oh dear. So that looks like something's happened well before John Jones, and that's deep in the wall. It's got to be a safety car. We're trying to get a replay. Johnny's getting out of the car. He looks okay. He'll be deeply disappointed, because they've been looking for reliability in that car. Okay, Alex has been in and looks like he's put some fuel in it. So they've jumped in, taken the opportunity while there's a safety car. I'm assuming they put some fuel in. Prior to that, he decided to get involved in the fastest lap game, and he's set a new fastest lap record of a 58.1. Maybe Alex had picked up some rubbish and he was coming in just to check on what had happened there. That's deeply disappointing for Johnny Mack and Simon Gilbertson. They've had such bad luck. That's such bad luck to see that car so deep in there. That's going to take a wee bit of fixing, because under the FIA requirements. They're going to have to repair that that safety barrier. So this is going to slow us down for a bit. Let's have a look at it. Here we got the Camaro on screen. He's looking good. He's coming up on that Aston, and what happened? And we've got a slower TCR car that looks really slow. I don't know if it is, but 3 wide into John Jones, and he's locked up. Oh, and he's hit the Aston hard. My goodness. He's lucky that didn't go over. That had a lot of air. Right, we'll see whether there's some activity in the pits. This is the time if anyone needs to throw some fuel in, they're going to do it now. This is going to be tied up for a wee while because they will have to fix that wall. They won't be able to continue with the with that car obviously there, but also then all those tyres not safe. So a chance to put a bit more rubber on, especially that. Usually the front right, these guys, all the top guys will put new rubber all around, I'd expect. Still got 45 minutes to go. This is Brendan in, putting a bit of fuel in that car, so there's no risk of running out of fuel. So that pushes them up to 4th. They've just got to keep bringing that thing home now. Johnny Reid currently is in P1, Alex Riberas in P2. With some fuel in the car, I'd imagine. So they're both all coming home. So it's going to be fastest car on track. Alex Riberas has said, I'm pretty quick. I've got the lap record here, 58.1. We've got 2 pies down there with the tow rope. I'm going to drag Johnny McIntyre out of the wall. There's the Brendan Leach. He's relatively full noise there, trying to catch up to the snake behind the safety car. It brings us into 43 minutes to go. It always gets exciting in the last hour of endurance race. Wait till we get to the last half hour. Lucky the Love Machine's not out there. The guys in the commentary room here giving me a hard time because my car's not out there. They're just jealous. Alright, well that slowed things down. The tail guys like this because it means everyone's going the same pace. That this is cheap lap time for these guys. So everyone's doing 2 minutes 14. Right. What we should do is we should give Tim a ring because he's down there. He will have seen it. I'll get him on the phone. Hey Tim, you're live on air, going out on the interweb, out to the whole wide world.
Man, the timing of that interview with Simon Gilbertson being asked by Adam, the car's going good, and he literally just said, don't ask me that, it's going good now, and then we looked up and we saw the hammer hit the wall hard.
Did you see what happened?
No, we couldn't see because of the tyres in front of us. We looked up towards the corner that it set up towards John Jones Steel corner, and all we saw was it spike right ahead, like full hammer is his wall.
Yeah, no, he hit the Aston Martin before that, and you're lucky he didn't come in and visit you because he got a fair amount of air. We're just looking at the car being lifted out now. What about the Peugeot? So you and the Peugeot and the Hammer have got a bit in common now. You're both not out there racing.
Yeah, that's not a good similarity to point out, actually. But
No, sorry about that.
About that later. I've been watching the live stream from Flag Marshal Point 4 here with the fantastic Flag Marshals at Flag Marshal Point 4. I'm sure that they're better than the other Flag Marshals. And been good seeing the interviews back on interviews, hearing Christina say that the traffic was unusual, being in little clusters and clumps, and I thought the same actually. The traffic for this race, it felt different to the other one.
Ah, dear. Hey, well,
Of course, they were passing me in clumps.
they were passing you.
In clumps.
Oh, yeah.
To pass them in clumps.
Oh, really? Yeah, that could be a bit unnerving, can't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're going to leave you to it down there. It looks like it's going to be a long day for you down in the Marshall Point. You can wave a flag or something. Sorry to see the Peugeot parked up. It's such a pity. Will you be at the Nationals?
I won't be, because I'm going to...
Oh, that's right. Okay, look, we're going to let you go. We're going to cross to Adam. He's down in the pits. Adam, what do you got?
So just talking to some of the teams down here, obviously the cars haven't come back in, but from what I can see has happened, and well, hear what I've been told's happened, it looks like the Camaro and the Aston Martin GT4 have come together down at John Jones. I'm not sure how that happened, but both of them are stuck out there. I don't think we can see. I know the guys in the tower are telling me they can't quite see what's happened to the Aston Martin. These guys are packing up, so it must be the end of the day for them. The Camaro guys are still in their tent having a look around, but our cameras just can't see what's happened to it. So they have come together, of course, and we saw that on camera, but yeah, so they made contact going into the braking area, and they've obviously both gone off, and that's what's caused the safety car. But we were hoping to see whether they were down at their pit. They're not in their pit garage, and the guys can't see them on track. So we'll keep you updated as to where they've gone. They must be somewhere. So we'll go back to Victor up there and see if our camera guys can find that car.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Yeah, that was a nasty coming together, and that's the fastest corner on the track, I think. That's they're going really quick coming into there, and 3 wide into John Jones is always dangerous. It's 2 wide is bad enough, but 3 wide is dangerous. I've been 4 wide into there, and that ended really badly. So bad to see that. We don't like to see that. We wanted to see those cars finishing, and yeah, this is still going to take a wee bit of time to clean up, I would suggest. Okay, my screen is showing that the Foster Reed car is possibly in the pits. Let me just have a look. Can we see on screen which car's behind the safety car? Just scroll past. We're still looking for the Aston Martin. I'm not sure where that's ended up. If anyone sees an Aston Martin lying around looking abandoned. We're talking about the yellow one, not the beautiful Heart of Racing one. There it is there. Okay, it's in the pits. Okay, we're going to go over to Adam. Adam.
There's the impact damage. Looks like there's some diff oil coming out as well, so it's it looks like it's the end of the day. I'm trying to find anyone. Can you give us any intel of what's happened here?
We've had a tap from behind, and it's bent the shock, bent the lower control arm, damaged the wheel, and obviously quite a bit of body work.
So you guys going to try to fix this, or is that the end of the day for you?
No, that's the end of us today.
Okay, well, there we go. So that gives us the answer to what's happened here. Yeah. So I'm just here
okay.
with
yeah, that's
Brink,
very
sad
sad
you're
to
the
see.
team
So
owner, yeah?
end of the day for the Aston. Okay.
So did you see what happened, or you just got?
Look at the footage again, and it just looks. Aaron was basically on the inside overtaking a lap driver, right on the inside. You could see Johnny Mack behind flashing lights, but there was no room, and he was committed to the turn. Johnny Mack just hit him from behind, and away he went. It was simply sad. You can see he hit him right at the back too. So it's a bit of a shame. But, it's pointless racing, isn't it?
So not too major damage by the look. You guys are obviously wanting to repair that. Got a couple of weeks to do it for the national final, yeah?
Yeah, no, the repairs look pretty straightforward, but again, having such a good run today, it was a shame to finish it like this.
Yeah, and you're doing well in class too, right?
Yeah, we're having a good race with Paul Kelly and Lee's in the Porsche, so I was getting down to an exciting finish.
All right, well, hopefully things go better at the final, and it's great. It's a great car to see out there, and it was being well driven, so it's a shame to see that end that way.
Yeah, thanks very much. We'll see you next round.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah, that is such a pity to see. It's such a beautiful car. It's, I mean, we joke about it being the slowest of the Astons, but it's just a gorgeous car. It's got a great sound to it, which you need to experience live. So you need to get out and watch local motorsport. But seeing cars like that, such a beautiful car. It's such a pity to see it out for the rest of the day. They're obviously getting the Camaro onto the trailer. There's our race leader, Foster Reed car. So it's well back in the snake. So just looking at where it is compared to the Aston Martin of Heart of Racing, because the safety car can play a couple of ways here. So it can benefit you or it can curse you. And I just see it looks like the Alex Riberas is only a couple of cars behind. Yeah, he's a couple of cars behind the Audi R8 of Johnny Reid. So there's Johnny Reid there. Two cars between him and Alex Riberas. So when we go green, the Aston Martin, I'm sure they've put some fuel in it. So everyone's got their sights on the checkered flag. We're going to have 34 minutes to go now. When we go green, it's going to be a half-hour sprint to the end, and it's going to be all go. We're going to see two world-class drivers head-to-head here trying to win this race. So don't go away. Don't go away. It's about to get exciting. The last half hour of endurance racing, always exciting. Right, obviously having issues picking that car up. Got all sorts of straps on it. Expensive equipment, so they've got to be incredibly careful. They're obviously unable to get it onto the trailer. Do we want to watch this? I'm not sure if we want to watch this. Okay, the front right wheel is it looks like it's got that wobbly thing happening that the other car had before. Yeah, so not only hit the wall, but it has wobbly wheel. Right. You'd think they'd be able to get the trailer under that now. They just can't seal it down. So that's as a result of, we saw the damage to the left rear of the Aston Martin, and so understandably the right rear of the Camaro is looking a bit shagged. The tyre wall is still going to need repair, I would have thought. I don't think they can leave it like that, although I'd imagine, I see Howard Atwell, who's the one of the officials here, will have been down and had a look at the wall. They need to make sure that wall is back to being safe again, because the risk of another car going in there is quite high, and if the wall is not up to standard, then the risk on the car and drivers is elevated, and that's not acceptable. We don't want anyone getting hurt. Incidents obviously can happen, but we still don't want anyone getting hurt, so that wall needs to be repaired properly so that it's safe for the drivers. Okay, been waiting for this all day. I've got Tegan about to join me from Heart of Racing.
Yes, hello.
Tegan, how are you?
Good. Happy to be back.
Yeah, we missed you. I hadn't seen you all weekend.
It's been too long.
It's been too long. Hey, so how you going?
good. All good.
Car looks to be going
Yeah,
well.
hoping to finish.
The guys have driven well.
Yeah.
Did you get some fuel in? We
Yes,
didn't
we
see
got
them.
we got a quick splash. So
So-
we're like, fingers crossed, we're good to go. That
And-
guy's not looking so good, but
yeah. Tough for these guys because they've had some reliability issues, and they got to 2 hours and the car was going great.
Yeah.
This isn't reliability. This is just
Unlucky.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
You know, that's sad. Hey, but let's talk about harder racing.
Sure.
So you guys are going good. There's 2 cars between you and Johnny Reid. So we're in for an exciting last 30 minutes.
should be a good battle.
It should be a
Yeah.
good battle. There's still a bit to do, so let's quickly talk about harder racing.
Sure.
Because this whole streaming has been brought to you, brought to us, brought to the world, big thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
So tell us a wee bit about harder racing.
So we're partnered with Starship. We're raising money for them and racing all around New Zealand in both the North and South Island
Right.
endurance series. Just having fun, traveling around, meeting cool people, and trying to do some good along the way. So
Yep.
we are originally from the United States, and that program there has been going since 2014.
Right.
And then while we were stuck here during lockdown, we decided to start it here and do something with our lockdown time. So
Fantastic.
luckily, we're out of lockdown now. Everybody's able to get together. Level 1 in New Zealand, which is so lucky, and we're so grateful to be here.
Yeah.
And so we're trying to show some appreciation.
Wow, it's it's clear that the appreciation from you guys is so clear because we're seeing what you're doing. You've raised, last I heard was 250,000, is that right?
Yes, it's a little bit more than that.
It's a
and
little bit more than that.
Hoping to keep going.
So
you can only go up.
So to keep going, what we need is people to go onto your website,
Yeah.
theheartofracing.co.nz, and you can subscribe or you can follow. And
Yeah,
you can
so an easy way is we're donating $1 to every YouTube subscriber on our channel. So that's a really easy way where nothing actually comes out of your pocket, but it just takes a couple seconds to
Right.
just click subscribe and boom, that's $1.
Right.
And then you can also donate on our website, but spreading the word helps just as much. Getting our name out there and just our mission being known across the
Fantastic.
country is really cool. And yeah, we appreciate the support so much, and we just want to tell New Zealand how much we appreciate all of you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. So, Heart of Racing, there's Facebook page too, and you can like that and you can share it. So, if you're into that social media thing, start sharing that so that other people are aware of the Heart of Racing, because spread the word. The more people we get involved, the more money that's raised. And because you never know, I was talked about this a wee bit before, you never know when it's going to be your family, your child, or your nephew, or your grandchild, or niece, or neighbour's child, or your children's
Could be
school
anyone.
friend. It could be
Yeah.
anyone. And as much as Starship is in Auckland, it's also kind of our national children's hospital. So
Yeah.
it plays a huge part in the whole of New Zealand. So it doesn't matter if you're not living in Auckland, this is still really important for everyone in New Zealand. So
Absolutely, and we're trying to get involved in some other charities around New Zealand as well. So partnering, like we're looking at doing something with neonates, which would be really cool, and doing like an
Right.
event with them. So just helping out as much as we can.
Fantastic.
We feel, again, so lucky to be here, and
You
we
won't-
were just
you won't wanna leave.
brainstorming.
You
Yeah.
won't-
Oh no, we don't want to leave. Can we please stay forever? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool place. And so, like today's a bit overcast, but yesterday you got to see some of the beauty of those mountains
Yeah.
with snow on it.
It's gorgeous here.
It's just gorgeous.
It's
right?
surreal. You're like, what? This is a racetrack? It
Yeah.
it looks like it's straight out of a movie scene. So
Yep. Hey, we've got the lights off, and the safety car will be pulling in, and so we are about to go racing.
Let's
The safety
go.
car's in. We're racing. We're green. We're green. So now the cars to watch are on your screen. There's the number 1 car, Johnny Reid, and there's Alex Riberas. He had 2 cars between him and Johnny, and I think there's now 1. Yes, there is 1. It's getting busy. And now I think there's no cars between them. Alex is, he's on the tail. Right, this is going to be an exhausting 26 minutes, folks. Don't leave your screen. Okay, they'll need to be a bit careful because all tyres and brakes and that will have just cooled off a little bit, so they just need to take their time and get the heat back in. Oh
No.
no. Okay, we've got the harder racing cars gone off. Okay, let's hope he's okay. There's a bit of room there. There's still dust showing, so okay. No, he's okay. He's up through the hairpin. He's all good. He's all good. Okay, we're looking for the harder racing car. He had a moment there. There he is. He's on the main straight. The car's okay. Just that was exactly what I was talking about. Is tyres get cold, brakes get cold. Just need to take a moment to settle in.
Woo, that was.
How's your heart?
That was exciting.
That was not exciting. That was like.
Yeah, we're back on track. All good.
Tegan was
That's racing. It happens.
Tegan was ready to do the 100-meter sprint down to the. She was like, that was the shortest interview ever.
Headphones off. See you later. Yeah.
Because Alex is your partner.
Yeah.
Yep. So moments like that as a partner is scary, right?
Yeah, but it's what he does, you know?
Yeah.
Out of anyone in the world, I trust him to race a car. So
yeah.
It's what he loves, it's what he does. So we might as well support it and make it happen.
You what an amazing partner you are, because you trust him. You trust
most of the time. No, I'm joking.
he might play this back and listen.
Sorry, Alex.
It's okay. Cool. So hey, so he's got his work cut out, but I bet he loves situations like this, right?
Oh, yeah.
As much as he loves being in the lead, but, we've got 23 minutes and 59 seconds to go. He can see the number one car ahead of him, and he wants to win.
Yeah, and it's just an exciting situation for the Heart of Racing as a team, the debut season in New Zealand. No expectations, right? We just came out here and we were like, let's just raise money and we're going to go racing too, and hopefully we do well, but that's not the important part.
No.
But it just turned out that we did really well in the last two races down here.
Yeah.
And so this being the final round for this series is super exciting, and everybody's just looking forward to the finals in Cromwell and Pukekohe next week. So
you're heading, you pack up here and you go back to Auckland and race
on
again next Saturday.
Yeah, next week. So we'll have a bunch of supporters from the Heart of Racing there, and we're going to host a little event for Starship families and other supporters that we've met along the way. So that'll be the first one where we have like a huge group of the Heart of Racing attending and cheering on.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to talk a little bit about 2 weeks ago we were in Ruapuna, and there was a great story from Ruapuna about a family that arrived.
Yes, I just saw his grandfather on my way over here.
Really? Fantastic.
So yeah, we met a little boy who had been in Starship twice, I believe, and he was going again for another heart surgery next year. And he showed us his scar. He was so brave, and it was so cool to meet a child who had been there coming to watch the race. And so I just saw his grandfather again, and I was like, please reach out. We want to do stuff with you. So it's really cool to make those connections, and that's what it's all about.
Wow. And so here we are in the South Island, and I've been saying, like I say, about that it's not just an Auckland hospital, it affects everyone.
Yeah.
And so there's a real situation of someone at a track, and it just pulls at my heartstrings to hear that story and how fabulous that is, and how much the Heart of Racing is touching people right throughout the country. So we are really grateful to you guys. We're grateful to Gabe, and I know that he likes to stand in the background and not be talked about, and I've been really good so far today, but
No, but he does deserve the recognition.
He deserves a huge amount of recognition, because it's because of people like Gabe that have got such a heart for people, and he's prepared to share it. So so I feel a lot of passion for that man and what he's doing, and the people around him, because it's not just him as well. But I'm so thankful to him and to you guys.
And it's no small feat. So
no, that's right. Absolutely.
It's starting a new program in a new country that we know nothing really about, or anywhere. Like all the locations that we've been racing have been brand new for us, and I think I said this last time, Alex is learning the tracks. Darren has raced most of them in a drift car, so it's a totally different style.
Yep.
So together they're meshing and learning the track at the same time in different styles, which is really, really cool.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just a lot of teamwork has gone into this, and we're thrilled with how it's going so far, and we just want to do more. So anyone watching at home, if you've been to Starship, know someone at Starship, anything, any relation, or just want to support the Heart of Racing, please reach out to us on our website and get in contact, and we want to make things happen in New Zealand. So
that's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. So I'm looking at my screen and I'm seeing that at the moment Heart of Racing is 15 seconds behind Johnny Reid in the Audi R8. So that's the figure to watch there, 15.318. So keep that in mind. I'm going to keep looking at that figure because that's the gap. So congratulations to Alex. He's not only doing not a bad job, fell off the track once, but is now the new levels lap record holder of 58.172.
Okay.
And so the prize for that is he gets to shout everyone in the bar afterwards.
Yeehaw. Perfect.
He'll be happy.
Perfect.
Does he know that?
Yeah.
He don't mind.
We don't need to tell him.
We
He'll
don't need
find
to
out
tell him.
eventually.
He'll find out eventually when he goes, the tab is in his name. So 15.1 is a good half second off the previous lap record. So amazing. Amazing drive, amazing bit of machinery as well. And so, and a good crowd. Timaru's a little town, obviously, as you've seen in South Canterbury, but we've still got a great crowd with crowds
I was
around
out
the
there
back.
earlier handing out lanyards and hats
Are
again.
you doing your thing again?
Oh yeah, doing my thing. Passing out, you get a car, you get a car.
Yeah.
And it's really cool to just look out and see like a sea of the blue Heart of Racing hats, which it is
awesome.
really cool. It's like everybody's been really adopting it as a community. So yeah, everybody's excited to get them. It's so cool to see and to get to talk to the people who are watching and supporting. It's really special.
Fantastic. That gap has gone to 16 seconds, so you need to sort your man out.
What was it before?
15.
Uh-oh. It's okay. Not
It's
my
okay.
job.
Not your-
That's his job.
That's not your department.
He needs to drive. I'll eat the candy.
Yeah. Actually, he's still driving incredibly well because there's still traffic out there. So we've got a couple of cars out, but reality is that the traffic can make quite a bit of difference.
Yeah, this is a
It's
crazy
just
track
timing.
for passing.
Yeah. So how's he found the track compared with, like, he loved Ruapuna, as it turned out. How's he found it here?
This one's been frustrating for him, I think. Just the passing, it's so narrow, and you really only have the opportunity on the straights.
Right.
So all the corners, you can lose time if you're stuck behind a car just because there's not surface area to pass on.
Yeah.
So I think that's been a strategy of learning that.
Okay, we're going to shoot down to the pits. Adam.
So I'm here with John McIntyre, obviously an incident that ended the race. Talk us through it from your perspective.
Yeah, look, we just going up the back straight there and had the Aston Martin, the GT4 ahead and then another car. And I thought I had room to go down the inside of the Aston, and it felt to me that just as I was going by, he's moved over a little bit to the left, and I don't think he's seen me. It wouldn't be intentional, so it's very hard at that speed. It's all happening very, very quickly, and we were committed, and we're probably 20, 30k an hour faster. So, bit of a well, I said not a bit of a shame. The boys didn't even tell me where we were, and I saw the Aston Martin, the GT3, and thought, oh, okay, we've probably made a bit of ground up here. So we were having an amazing race.
I mean, your lap times, you're getting close to the lap record at that stage.
Yeah, look, I mean, I've seen the other guys have gone a wee bit quicker now, but we were just, I couldn't believe how fast the car would go and hold on to its tyre. And it just got quicker and quicker, just unreal. So full credit to the guys. This is what we're chasing. We're chasing pace, and we still unfortunately haven't seen a checkered flag, but we will. I'm sure we will.
Too much damage, or because obviously you've got the national final coming up. What's the car looking like?
Oh, it's actually not that bad. The right front's done its job. Unfortunately, when it's hit hit the Aston, it's just broken all the suspension, and then I've been a bit of a passenger into the tyre wall. But luckily, thanks to Timaru Raceway, they've got the airbags down there, so it hasn't broken the bonnet. Yeah, it's done the front bumper and things, and the suspension damage on the right front, but it's not actually a biggie. It looked pretty big, felt pretty big inside the car, but yeah, I pretty much gave the boys a couple of sentences before I hit the tyres, so yeah, it's okay.
Well, hopefully we see you there at the national round and everything comes together for you, because it was looking pretty good today.
Yeah, we hope so too, so we'll keep on digging, won't give up.
Thanks, John. And back over to Victor for the last sector of the race.
Thanks, Adam. Just such a pity to see Johnny. You can just see in his eyes, as much as he's trying to put a smile on, but disappointment there. And yeah, unfortunate, but that's motorsport, and they will be back. So Tegan, yeah. So last lap, Johnny Reid's laying the gauntlet down a bit with a 58.7, and Alex is, we'll say he's been caught up in traffic, shall we? So that gap's widened up a bit. So, but that's okay. I can tell you now that you guys are still probably in pretty good shape, to be fair.
Yeah, and that's what competition is for, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so exciting. So so you're off to Pukekohe for a week, and then 2 weeks after that, I think, is the Nationals in Cromwell.
Yeah.
So if you want to not only just support Heart of Racing online, 3 weeks time, plan a trip to Cromwell. It's not the worst place in the world to be, and watch Heart of Racing race live.
Yes.
At Cromwell. It's
yes.
There you go. And because one of the benefits is that there's sometimes hats and stuff that get given away. So
oh, absolutely. And you get to meet us.
And you
what more could you possibly want?
Tegan. Yeah. And the team and the team are so accommodating. You know, if they're not having to be focused on something, they're so often available to chat, which is
it's just fun for us to meet people. You know, it's the coolest part about all of this.
Yeah, which is great. So yeah, you guys are very much the Kiwi spirit, which we love. But you know, we're also so blessed because of the amount that you're contributing to motorsport in New Zealand and to New Zealand, the country, and through Heart of Racing to, of course, the Starship and all those things that you're doing.
It's our pleasure.
Such a blessing. So it's been a privilege for me to meet you guys as well. So thank you so much.
Us too, Victor. It's been awesome.
So it looks like some trouble with the TCR down there, the pattern car. The boys are busy with 13 minutes to go. They'll want to try and finish the race, ideally, even if they can just get out to do the last lap. There's a bit of head shaking going on. Okay. Yeah, with 12 minutes to go, I would think that Alex is looking to bring that home and is not going to push too hard. We're going to go back down to Adam in the pits.
So we're here with Hayden Patton. It's your first circuit racing meeting, is it?
Yeah. Well, we did a little one a year or so ago, but yeah, it's a virgin if you like.
And so tell us, obviously the car's stopped here in the pits. What's happened?
Yeah, like the first 15 minutes went good and was feeling good, but then we had some fuel pressure problems, and ever since we've just been nursing it. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, but it seems to be something going on with the electronics in the car. So we're just trying to make the finish, just nursing it ever since the first half an hour. Get it through the finish, use this opportunity to see if we can find something before we finish the race, and try and get it sorted for Highlands.
So tell me, obviously in qualifying you went pretty well, and you were the quickest of the TCR cars, yeah?
Yeah, like when the car's going good, it's fast, so the package is good. We just got to, this is the first time we've run the car over half an hour, so this weekend was all about learning for us. It was first as a team, so we're doing a circuit racing, so learning how it all works, and then take a lot of data and information away from this weekend, and we'll improve when we come back out next time.
So, as a rally driver coming to circuit racing, how have you found the transition?
Yeah, I really enjoy it, especially when you get this new tarmac at the top and a bit of gravel on it. I sort of feel a bit at home, but in all seriousness though, it's actually very similar in terms of the driving inputs and techniques. The biggest thing for me to adapt to is cars around me. So, plain out driving, no problem, but keep looking at my mirrors. I've got to keep reminding myself just to see what's going on.
And with Jordan as a co-driver, I mean, how have you found that relationship?
Yeah, he's really, really good. He's a really good, mature young fella. He's really gelled with the team in the last few days and really impressed. So it's tough for him today. Obviously, what happened for him in the 1 hour. Now, we've basically told him to drive slow for an hour and a half. So it'll be pretty boring for him, but he's still pretty motivated about it. And he's doing what we're asking of him. So yeah, he's doing a top job.
Tell us, you've obviously got some longer-term plans with circuit racing.
Oh, yes and no. Like, I just love driving. It doesn't matter if it's race, rally, or whatever it is. So, we've got the car there in the shed at the moment. It seems a shame not to be using it. So, as long as we've got the car, then yeah, we'll keep trying to find opportunities to use it.
And you're just about to launch something exciting and new, right?
Yeah, an electric one. So, we wouldn't have fuel problems anyway with that.
And so, when's that happening?
We're about 3 weeks away from launch. So, yeah, really excited by that. It's been a massive project by the whole team, and it's looking very, very cool. So looking forward to showing people it.
And will you do the national final, do you think, or what's the circuit race plan?
Yeah, look, that's what we're trying to do now. We're just trying to get enough points on the board to try and get us through to the finals. The final is what our priority is, but obviously you have to qualify, and that we're not going to know until after North Island round. So we'll just bank as many points today as we can, and if we can do that, we'll do a proper job there.
So are you going to Pukekohe for the North Island final?
No, just the New Zealand final Highlands is what we're hoping to qualify for. But obviously we have to see how many North Island people come down.
It looks like a bit of action going on here, so we'll just spin around and they're still trying to repair the car there, but we'll just go back to the commentary while giving you this vision at the same time. So back to you, Victor.
Oh, thanks, Adam. And just with that, if I'm not wrong, it looks like Alex Riberas has just smashed the Timaru lap record with a 50. No, it was showing a 57.5. I was getting excited. No, still at 58.1. So the timing just updating itself there. But 58.1 is still the new levels lap record for a saloon car in our endurance series. So that's amazing achievement by Alex. So so we were just talking while Adam was talking there. So that hopefully you guys can base here a whole lot longer and work your program from here is part of the plan.
Yeah,
which would
absolutely.
be great for you guys and obviously great for New Zealand motorsport. So
we're hoping to do so. It's the safest place in the world right now, and it would be foolish for us to leave.
Yep.
So we're hoping to be here as long as we can legally do so, and hopefully ultimately get residency so we can travel out and see our families and return.
Yeah.
So that's the end goal, and it's really great for Alex and Darren to be able to race, and there's no limitations on test days in New Zealand, so you can just go to the track and practice. And so career-wise, it's really, really great for them to train here and just use it as a launching pad. Who knows what comes next, but for the next year or 2 or 3, while COVID is dangerous still and wreaking havoc on the whole world, New Zealand is a great place for them to be.
Sure, yeah. And because also, as we've seen with so much professional sport, it can be on one day and off the next. So, so there's no, you need stability, right? And so at the moment, New Zealand provides stability.
Absolutely.
Now, I'm sorry to say, but Johnny Reed's just gone and broke the lap record.
Oh, that's awesome. Johnny is an amazing driver.
He is an amazing driver.
So that is great for him.
Yeah.
Yay,
So
Johnny. Way to go, buddy. That's sick.
Congratulations, Johnny. A 58.038. So, that's 600ths off the previous lap record. So they're going quick. The fuel levels will be down, and we're going to go over to Adam. Are we? No. Okay, sorry. We're looking at P3 on the track. So that's Scotty O'Donnell and Andrew Waite. They'll be happy with that. First time Scotty's driven the car, and they've driven incredibly well. They're 1 lap down, but still circulating well. Good 59-second lap, so they're quick, and they'll have their eyes on the New Zealand finals in 3 weeks' time as well. So it's going to be exciting. There's going to be some amazing cars there, and obviously you guys will be there. So so they'll be very happy to be to be there or thereabouts. We've got 4 cars pretty much, 159 laps for the front 2 runners, 158 laps for the next 2, so 4 cars that are pretty close, just about throw a hanky over them. We're down to 18 seconds, so I'm not sure that we've got 5.5 minutes to go. Alex has got plenty of fuel, whereas the Johnny Reid was on a one-stop strategy, so we're assuming, well, they would have saved a bit with that safety car, so they should be comfortable with fuel. So he should be able to protect that lead even if Alex does catch him up. So, but a great drive from all of these guys. They've kept it relatively clean, so they should be happy. Here comes Alex onto the
taking
straight
up some
now.
dirt.
Yeah, just he doesn't drive on the road like that, does he?
Oh, he does.
Has he got a license?
Oh yeah, but in I want to say it was Ruapuna, maybe Taratanga. We rolled up to the track with 2 flats on the rental car, all on the left side from Alex driving. So he's not allowed to drive the rental cars anymore.
Excellent.
It's always Darren. But yeah.
So what happens is, by you saying that, every race car driver in the country just fell in love with him.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, he's
going to be mad at me.
He's the real deal.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to head back down to the pits for the last several minutes.
Go down and celebrate with your team.
Cool.
Thank you for coming and talking
Absolutely.
to us.
Thank you for having me, and thank you
for
from watching at home. We really appreciate everybody's support, and thank you, New Zealand. See you later.
Okay, see you. Bye, Tegan. Well, that's Tegan from Harder Racing. So make sure you get onto that site and sign up, register, and keep an eye on what they're doing. It gives you all the updates of what's happening in the States as well. And it gives you the chance to partake in their fundraising for the Starship Foundation. Thank you so much to Harder Racing for your contribution to the South Island Endurance Series, that the Carter's South Island Endurance Series, for helping out with support for making sure we can get this live stream out to the world. So we are hugely appreciative of your commitment to the series and to motorsport in New Zealand. Right, we're down to 3.5 minutes to go. The Foster Reid car in the lead, followed by Alex Riberas and Scotty O'Donnell and Andrew Waite, and then Christina and Brendan Leach. Okay, the TCR car's had a moment. It looks like he's collected someone, because that front bumper looks like it's had a moment. And we're going to see that again. Last few minutes, 3 hours is a long time. Really hard on drivers. And even though it's cool, still hot in the car. You can see it's overcast overhead. Okay. We've got 2.5 minutes to go. There's your race leader, number 1, Johnny Reid at the wheel. Neil Foster took it out for a start. He drove incredibly well. A real credit to him. Johnny Reid said, "Well done, Neil. I need to show that I'm actually the pro driver." So he's gone out and smashed the lap record, 58.038. Amazing. He had a 57 in qualifying, so the car's seriously quick. It's coming round now. Yeah, it could be 2 laps to go. I doubt whether we'll get the last lap board this time. So coming up to, we're having a look at the pit wall there. It's coming onto the main straight. We've got 1 minute 42 to go. They'll get another 2 laps in, I'd say. I doubt whether he'll get the last lap board this time. We'll have a look. Yeah, no, he's through turn 1 and 2. The car's been phenomenal after they had a few issues at Ruapuna. The car prepared by International Motorsport, who are also support team for the Harder Racing Aston Martin. They do a great job, very professional team. And the car looks to have been faultless most of the day. They had that incident at turn 1, so they had a whole lot of work to come back from that. They got collected up the backside by Simon Gilbertson, by the sound of it, which pushed them into Darren Kelly when he was in the Heart of Racing car. So it had that risk of taking the 2 top contenders out, but to credit to those guys, they've kept going, and now that's got to be close to the last lap though. 30 seconds to go. I'd imagine this is the last lap. You cross the line through Castrol onto the back straight. We've got Alex Riberas holding second place. He's just crossed the line as well. He's down 20 seconds, so he's obviously settled in and said, yep, that's okay, second, we'll take that. That will be enough to give them the championship. As Johnny Reid brings it back round McKissick, bit of slow traffic. He's not going to do anything crazy. He's heading up towards the, he's backing off there very cautiously. not gonna blow it with 3 corners to go. Back onto the main straight. Onto the front straight. Here he goes. We've got the checkered flag out. We've got the checkered flag out. Yeah, there he goes. Great win. Great win. Number 1, Neil Foster and Johnny Reid. Well deserved. They worked hard. Neil had to work really hard. He had to work like a professional to pull back from the issues they had at the start. Here's your P2. Heart of Racing, Aston Martin. Darren Kelly and Alex Riberas. Alex at the wheel. Great drive by them. They were tied up in that tussle right at turn 1 as well. But the car's been faultless all day, it would appear. They had to put a bit more fuel in. They were lucky they got the safety car. When there's your P4, they're pretty happy there. That's Brendan Leach. They'll be delighted with their position. That will give them a strong second overall. And just looking for Scotty O'Donnell. Must have gone through, have they? Because we've missed them somewhere. But Scotty O'Donnell and Andrew Waite in third place. So good drive by them today. Scotty O'Donnell will be probably ringing up the Audi dealership on Monday, I would think, and saying, I might have one of those. Okay, we're going to go down to the pits.
So I'm here with Christina Oil West. That's the biggest cheer for 4th position ever.
Absolutely. Oh, what an intense last couple of minutes that was. Got tied up with Hayden Patton's Hyundai, and he was screaming on the radio that he's just had contact, and everyone just froze. But yeah, to come across with what we've got, what we've been fighting with, and it's really emotional actually.
So that's provisional 2nd overall for the South Island Endurance Championship. Well done.
Thank you very much.
I mean, you're saying you're feeling emotional. How do you think Brendan feels in the car?
Probably tired, probably wants a drink. He'll have a whinge about something.
All right, well, there'll be plenty of beers on tonight.
Yes, very much so.
All right, well, we'll just get down to the grid because the cars are just going to be pulling in. So we'll see the cars as they come in, and then we'll get down and get the 1st, 2nd and 3rd of the day, and of course the 1st overall for the championship. So meet us down on the grid in a couple of minutes. Back to you, Victor, for it.
Yeah, thanks, Adam. Hey, so quickly before we go down to Adam, by class, Phillips and Phillips in Class A take out the win for today, followed by Grant Moore and Matt Moore. They'll be very happy with that. Haycoop and Cooley 3rd. In Class B, the Shepherd Fitzgerald car, followed by the Driver Hood and the Askew car. Jordan Mickles and Hayden Patton 4th in that class. Class C, Davis Mitchell car, followed by the McDermott. Class D was Anthony Lees and Paul Kelly. They'd be very happy ahead of the Dippy and the Rhodes Rickleby car. They'll be also happy that they've completed without any problems today. And of course the Class E in overall was Neil Foster and Johnny Reid, Alex Riberas and Darren Kelly and Scotty O'Donnell and Andrew Waite, and they would head up the winners overall 1st, 2nd and 3rd. So I'm going to head down to Adam shortly because the cars will pull up onto the grid, and you might not hear much more from me, but thank you very much for tuning in. Thank you very much to Carter's Tyres for your support, and the other sponsors of the South Island Endurance Series, Allied Petroleum, Bridge, sorry, what was I going to say? Michelin, that was close, wasn't it? Michelin, Pirelli, so many sponsors. Jump onto the site and have a look. So thank you to them. Thank you hugely to Heart of Racing again for their support. And thank you for tuning in from all around the world and watching New Zealand South Island Endurance Series racing. If you've got a race car, put it in a container, come down to New Zealand. The Heart of Racing guys love it. Come and race. We don't have much COVID here. We've got lots of tracks. It's not a bad place to be. We've got, it's paradise, and you can go racing. So, so thank you for tuning in. We'll be down to the pitch. You can down to the grid. You can see the guys are happy. They're happy with second, but that's a win overall. There's Adam. Thank you very much. This is goodbye from Victor.
So we're down here in the second today. Not enough for the win, but it's enough to take the championship.
Yeah, definitely. Overall result was awesome for us today, and for both of us, first season in the championship is an awesome result for the team and everyone. It's been amazing effort, and stoked to come away with the win for sure. Second today, that's also a good result, and Alex drove amazingly well. It's pretty tough out there. This is a really tough track to get around and lots of traffic, so it's very challenging, but stoked with the result.
So Alex, show us that big smile.
Yeah, well, obviously frustrated about the result from today. We were really pushing hard to go on for the win, but very, very happy and so proud of the whole team for achieving the championship and clinching the title for the first time, our first participation. I think nobody in the Heart of Racing expected that, and it's all thanks to the amazing work that everybody at the International Motorsport team has developed throughout this entire championship, and especially Darren. He drove flawlessly the whole championship, no mistakes, and it's very much thanks to him that we were in the position to go for it.
And so that last sector of the race, you were just trying to get it home and keep it clean, yeah?
Yes, there was a time where we were looking to maybe be able to be contenders for the victory today. We knew that we would do a second stop, which, to attempt a victory with 2 stops when you know your main competitor is doing 1 stop, it's kind of a very hard achievement by itself. So the fact that we were able to even give it a go it's very impressive. So it was not enough today, but we will try again next time.
And so next week, what's happening?
Yeah, Pokekoi next week, our, let's say, home race, where we're gonna have everybody from the Heart of Racing, from Starship, and it's maybe for me the most special race, since it's gonna be like the first time that I see a lot of people that are coming to the race for the first time after a long time, and I'm just looking forward to it a lot.
And of course, you go into the North Island Endurance Series, leading that too, yeah?
Not leading. We were 3rd in the first round in Hampton Downs, so everything to play for in the last race, and we're gonna go for it.
Great. All right. Well, we see you guys up there, and congratulations. It's been a really fast turnaround, and I know by doing both the North and the South Series is a big deal.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks to you guys for being out here and giving the chance to everybody to watch this special event from their homes, and I hope everybody enjoyed and had a good time.
And thanks to the Heart of Racing for making this making this happen. So awesome. Congratulations, guys. I just need to go talk to the winners of the race, so we'll just go over there. Okay, so we've got Johnny Reid over here, and Neil. Sorry, Neil, can you just come over? Sorry, we're live, so we can't sort of muck around. We'll get Johnny over once he's finished. So here we are with Neil Foster. A win for the day, sort of redemption in some ways for the series, not going to exact plan, right?
Yeah, we felt like we deserved it today, but hey, we still had to work pretty hard for it, as you saw.
And so the end of the race there, you're just sort of standing by and hoping that you got it at home.
Yeah, well, the safety car helped us. We knew we'd make it on fuel quite easily after that safety car came out. So, yeah, it all went to plan.
Great. And so what's next?
Obviously Cromwell in 3 weeks' time. Looking forward to that one.
Great. And Johnny's obviously doing an interview as well, so it'd be nice to get him in over here. I know. Can we just drag him? Hey, Johnny. Sorry, Johnny. We were live, so we're sort of cool, mate. The end of the race there for you. Obviously, you brought it home and won, and that's a redemption for the things that didn't go so well earlier in the season, right?
Redemption day. You're calling it that? That's great. Yeah. I mean, for us, we needed this as a group, and Neil got on a bit of an altercation, which wasn't really his fault, leading into turn 1 off the pole and knocked off, and to keep his head cool and clear and just come back and drive towards the front. I'm really proud of him. The group of guys in the car, we haven't had the smoothest run, in the pit lane, and then also mechanically we had an issue which is very rare. So to come back this round and take the number 1 spot's a good confidence booster for the NZ final.
And of course, there's one other thing you probably know or may not. 58.
Oh man, it's perfect conditions today. I must admit, like overcast here, it's quite cool, and the car's well. So it's a pleasure to drive. Thanks, Neil. But yeah, no, I've had a ball, and awesome. Can't wait for the next one.
Great. Well, it's been great being able to interview you guys and watch all 3 rounds of this. It's real fun for us to be here as well. So good luck for the finals, and I've got to go get 3rd place. I'm getting the hurry up from upstairs. So cheers, guys. We'll just go find Andrew Waite over here, who's with Scott O'Donnell as well. So here we go. They're just over here. They're doing a radio interview as well. So. Andrew, just because we're live, we'll just need to crack into this straight away. So here we are with Scott O'Donnell, Andrew Waite, 3rd today. I mean, first time out in the car for you two as a driver pairing. I mean, how are you feeling with the result?
We're absolutely wrapped. It's nice to get out there, nice to do some laps, and it started all coming back to me. Obviously, in the car last, getting quicker and quicker, and it's just really cool to get out there.
And Scott, first time in the Audi.
Good now. Last night didn't sleep very good. There's a fair bit going on in the mind. But no, good to get a result, and thanks to Andrew and Dennis. It's been a whole team effort to get to the finish, and everyone's very happy.
Great. So what's happening next with the car?
To be confirmed is the next step from here. And just at the same time, I'd like to thank Dennis and Debbie. Scott, he's just been so we're going to jump in and do as well as he did. I think all of us in the pits were sort of very impressed straight away to see him get out there and same pace as the other guys that have done a lot of laps in these cars. So thanks to everyone that's involved.
Right, well that's told to wrap things up from upstairs, so thanks guys. I see Kate is nearby the series. Kate Patton is just over here. We'll just grab her to wrap up because this is the final round and the South Island Endurance Series, the Tyres South Island Endurance Series. Hey Kate, how are you? Nice to find you here. So we're just wrapping the day up. I mean, that's the end of the series. It's been awesome being here for the 3 rounds and chatting away with you. And how are you feeling?
Yeah, good. It was a pretty successful day. A few people had a few issues, but overall it's awesome. Lots of cars finished, which is awesome.
Great, and so obviously you've got to do all the results and you've got a prize giving tonight. So if everyone looks on your Facebook page here tonight, they'll see the results for all the different classes.
Yeah, I mean, provisionally we know where everyone's at, but until I see it on paper calculated, I don't want to say, because I'd hate to just get it wrong.
All right, so that's it. That's a wrap from the Carter's Tyres South Island Endurance Series 2020. Thanks everybody for watching. We've got 1 week to turn this around and get to Pukekohe to do the final round of the North Island Endurance Series. So next Saturday we're going to be doing it all again. So thanks to the Harder Racing for making this all happen. Thanks to Carter's Tyres for putting the series on, of course, to everybody that's helped us out right throughout it, to the camera guys, to everybody that's given us massive favours, to, like, Cherry Picker's got even some signage on it because of that. But it's been fabulous to do this again. I think this is our 5th or 6th year of being involved, and to be able to bring it out live, first time from Levels Raceway has been awesome, and thanks, Kate, for having us. And we'll be seeing you soon, hopefully. Okay. Cool. All right, that's a wrap. Like and subscribe to the Fast Files, and we'll see you next week.
We're going to be racing racing. Yes, we are racing. Oh, look at the Camaro. Johnny Mac put it up the inside.
Vamos!
There's the checkered flag. Give him a hand. Well done, Marco. This is about to get exciting. We're going to watch a true New Zealand motorsport legend, Greg Murphy. A well-deserved victory for Heart of Racing.